ENCE sometimes plays at the level of their opponents, and that could be a problem. But here we go. It is going to be Mirage to start things off here. ENCE and MOUZ are wasting no time. It looks like a B hit is on the cards.
Most certainly is. Whether it's going to be fast or slow is yet to be determined. But it appears that they're just going to be slowly edging their way up. Jumping across, flashbang as well. Diha did spot a couple of players crossing, but can't do much about it. Smoke in his eyes, and he takes a stray bullet to the dome as well. Won't be put down as a result, but Spinks is making moves behind. Torzy has this angle covered and will not miss that chance. In doing so, Hades has come back with 2 massive kills of his own, but BMAS can line them up and knock him down. Snappy and Madden both burst out, and Torzy was last seen watching the flank. They know roughly where he is, but he's still connecting the headshots. Oh, Torzy, that's absolutely disgusting. But Snappy does have the kit. And there's a smoke down on the site, can go in for this again. Tickles the bomb. Torzy goes for the sprays, missing everything. Whips out the knife and shanks Snappy to clutch the round out. A beautiful 1v3 from the Hungarian.
What a beautiful sequence of kills coming in from Torzy, and there was barely a second remaining on the defuse. Snappy almost had it. Oh, what a round from Torzy, and this is after they knew exactly where he was. Look at the time. Look at how much time was remaining. It was barely like half a second remaining on the clock there for the defuse, but Torzy with the clutch, and this is after Hades pulled off 2 incredible shots to enable the retake, and a full K for Torzy. We said that this is a player who has to deliver here for MOUZ for them to get this win, and what a start for him.
Far off on the scout shot, connecting the kill. And Diha stuck on the staircase, still puts that deagle to use. Off to a decent start is the poll, but may not be good enough as MOUZ are now constricting onto the site, taking the angles. Smoke's about to vacate though on both jungle and also CT. Scouts landed for the second time, so a couple players are exceptionally low here on the side of MOUZ, and they're now being finished off. Frozen 38 HP, BMAS 12. 1 bullet to either and they could be gone. Spinks and Hades both healthy, and the bomb is dropped down in the middle of the site. This is looking a bit grim now for MOUZ.
Very grim. A tag a piece from the deagle so to scout any bullets from either of the 2 CTs, and they're done for. BMAS will be found. Now it's all in Frozen. And that's overkill from Sphinx, and ENCE they answer back.
Oh, MOUZ, that is about as bad as it gets. They grind their way back into the pistol. A huge clutch from Torzy. Push out onto the A site. They get the opening picks as well. It's looking good. And then Hades with that scout is just consistently landing shots, weakening them down 4-1 as he moves into round 3. And MOUZ, well, they've gone for the force.
Might as well the force by was. Sphinx from above, taking down Dexter, but BMAS replies back. A dangerous game here. The Deagles will sing in tandem. And another one for BMAS, and suddenly MOUZ, they're bringing it back with just the pistols. And down to Sphinx and Snappy to bring this one back for ENCE.
Man, this has just been 2 heavyweight boxes exchanging blows in the center of the ring, using the Deagles to just land the 1-2 combo. 2 players are low though. This round is not over just yet. Snappy dropped down to 84. More damage done in the triple box, and BMAS with another dig and picks up yet another one. He gets a 4K in the round. 4-1 digs. And MOUZ instantly break ENCE back.
What a start to the game. What a start to the game. This is just death matching. And BMAS, the shots he's hitting alongside JDC as well. Oh my word. MOUZ are not to be phased, Vince, and if these 3 rounds are a tell as to how this game is going to play out, oh boy, color me excited.
Another force in now on ENCE. They have their own Deagles in play. Surely we're not going to have yet another force come out ahead. Smokes down onto Connector. Molly also traded in. Does a bit of damage to Diha, so he has to back away from the tight angle. And this will afford MOUZ the chance to push through on the catwalk. There was an opportunity for Dexter. Does a bit of damage. Now moves back again is Sphinx. But Snappy's been cauterized on the site. And with that, JDC should be able to push in. Hades and Diha, though, do give a parting gift with the Deagles. dropping MOUZ down to 3 players.
Good flashbang to flush Diha off the angle. Now it's all on Madden. 1v3, nothing he can do. MOUZ, they come out on top of the force by Waz. And 3-1. What a start from them.
Excellent start. And importantly, they finally withstood the force buys. ENCE will now have to respect this. They will now have to save. And this gives MOUZ a golden chance to extend this lead, get themselves established economically, and start to make a real go out of this T-half.
Full eco now for ENCE. Not much they can do. Everyone at the $2,000 mark. And MOUZ are going to be walking into an empty bomb site. Bemis needs to be a little careful. Frozen though. A bit of a late lurk. Spots a couple of players with connectors. It's going to be a bit of a stat pat round for him. And they're keeping it clean here, Vince. Snappy, the last man standing. Barely any damage getting taken either here for the side of MOUZ. And what a start for them. This is a map pick coming in from MOUZ, unless I'm very much mistaken. Yeah, it is a map pick from MOUZ. And here's the thing. ENCE, once upon a time, they used to go for this Mirage pick. And they used to be really, really scary on it. They are a very solid team on Mirage. So for MOUZ picking this, I wouldn't say too worried. I don't think MOUZ have too many options available to them as to where they want to take the first map. But to start like this is great. We speak about the individuals on the side of ENCE, right? Like we talk about how, you know, Sphinx is probably the best player in the server here. We have his teammates, like players like Madden, like Diha, and how dangerous they can be, how so very capable they are of holding their own. And even Hades as well. He might be a little inconsistent, but he can really pop off as well. But now showing that, sure, they might not have the experience, they might not have the ranking or the achievements ENCE have managed to get this year, but they're more than capable of holding their own. First buy is going to be coming out here for the side of ENCE, and it's going to be JDC leading the way. Flash is going to blind him. That's a bit of a team flash there, and Snappy will pluck him.
Yeah, and being joined by Sphinx as well, the crossfire they have set up onto this site is looking far too powerful, far too deadly. They're taking a lot of damage through the smoke, though. And now Sphinx has been finished off. D has now joined the party as he tosses in the nade and systematic shutdown onto the B-apps. We'll see ENCE pick up their second, only the cost of 1 life. So they have brought this one back, but because of MOUZ getting the last few rounds pretty comfortably, they have more than enough money to go in for that rebuy.
Yeah, there's a bit of an unfortunate flash there. Flash actually blinding the second CT, but also catching JDC. But a good haul overall coming in from MOUZ, from ENCE rather, keeping 4 alive. As you said, Vince, they have money for the buy. Torzi with the AWP. We saw him yesterday on the T side of Inferno as well, being absolutely lethal with the AWP. Doesn't matter if it's a CT side or a T side or what the map is. He is a monster and is showing why. Takes down his counterpart on the side of ENCE. As Hades falls, no trade possible for ENCE.
Always things. Lose a player, not able to do anything about it. What you can do now is dig your heels into the ground and try and repel the push that will be forthcoming. There's still a lot of time though, and MOUZ, retaining most of their smokes, can start to play some mind games, start to try and probe across this defense. Smokes onto connector. I think that smoke, did it miss? I think it may have been aimed for the window. Snappy has a one-way designated for him in the meanwhile. JDC now having a look up on the window side. Seeing nothing as of yet. Turning his attention on the catwalk. No one present for ENCE. Snappy may get peeked from 2 separate angles. May go down as a result, but it's played so very well. Snappy and Diha capitalize. Divide and conquer the oncoming tease. That flashbang is perfection, but Torsi is back with 1, and BMAS is keeping this round alive. A trade back, Torsi and Madden, and Sphinx will clutch it down. Last man standing, but he gets the job done.
If the nade doesn't find Torsi there, I fear for Sphinx at the end. Torsi was missing nothing. But ENCE, they hold on. Coming down to the 1v1 means their money is still in a very rough position. 4 players sub $1,000 mark. We have a bit of a tactical timeout getting called here by MOUZ, the very first one. You can see the first one as well, just spotting a bit and just a shoulder of Hades. But this flashbang was so well timed from Diha, right? Because Madden was such an uncomfortable spot there. The Molotov flushing him out, so he should have been dead to rights, but the flashbang saving him. And Torzy, despite taking on Madden, Madden will drag him down to the grave, from beyond the grave. It's MOUZ. The force comes in. 4 and 3. They know how precarious the position is for ENCE. Tactical timeout, resulting in the force buy here from MOUZ. Deagle and Tech9 in play for Torzy and Dexter. 3 AK-47s for the other youngsters. Utility-wise, it is a bit sparse, Vince. A couple of smokes and 3 flashbangs, so not much to work with. Might be just seeing a clean execute coming out and hoping the AK-47s can find a few kills.
Hades is effectively alone for the time being, although Madden was in connector. He can now turn his attention over onto the bomb site. Flash is good, lands in the eyes of Madden. They follow it up, and JDC and BMAS just straight through. There's nothing intricate about this strat, but the headshots connecting thick and fast, and that is gigantic for MOUZ. However, Diha still in with a chance, still in with a sniff, as the AWP from Hades does connect. He did see just the leg of Torzy get round the corner, who's trying to open up with a Deagle. Frozen, in the meanwhile, makes short work of Snappy, down to a 2-on-2. But Frozen is in such a difficult position to deal with, although the smoke has come down, trying to defuse this in amongst the smoke, and Frozen's run out of ammunition. He may assume that they're off the bomb plant right now, and a spray is right again. ENCE defused fully underneath the nose of Frozen and BMAS.
No kid as well. Hades, 2 HP. Diha doing his best Kevin Costner impression, standing in front of him like a bodyguard. I cannot believe ENCE has stolen that one away. There was a full no-kit 10-second diffuse coming in. And I felt like MOUZ had that one in the bag, Vince. Like, the utility usage, I said it was very sparse, but the flashbangs were pristine. Getting the first 2 opening kills as well, enabled by those flashes. And even having Frozen there, but my, oh my, that has got to be a gut punch for MOUZ. But again, for ENCE, despite winning the round, it comes down to one man staying alive. MOUZ are gonna go for the buy again, but this time, Sphinx and Madden, the first 2 opening picks. JDC does get one back, and the A bomb site is empty right now. There's no one there, and BMAS could sneak on in.
He is sneaking in, but so many of his teammates have fallen around him. He will need to get this kill clean and do something about it, but his head's been spotted. And although he does connect his own headshot, it's at the cost of 88 health, meaning any stray bullet, and he is a goner. It does give MOUZ a chance. A brief moment, potentially. BMAS, how has he picked up that kill? Madden instantly rips his head off.
12 HP. Madden didn't even have a chance to rattle off a single bullet. He just got deleted from the server. And BMAS, he's having a hell of a game here. 12 and 5. Now Frozen, tucked in, spots the head. Sphinx going to take the fight. Yes, he is. He's going to actually got to get a dink, but it is going to be through the edge of the wall. But now Hades lies in wait. He's not going to scope. He doesn't want to give away his position. But now the scope comes in. Dignitas cross on over. Catches BMAS jumping across, and the second as well. And ENCE, it will stay alive, but again, MOUZ are able to inflict so much of damage, Vince.
Do they go for another buy here, Blair? Because 4 players could squeak out rifles. They must realize that the money for ENCE is still in no great shape. It won't be rifles, but we do have a MAC-10 in play and some pistols at least.
Yeah, they're just going to equalize out the money a little bit. Could be a faster play coming in towards B, where they have found a bit of success. Utility, quite a bit here. 3 smokes, a multitude of flashes to work with as well. Firstly, they're just going to be waiting out the... here comes the plate. It's going to come charging on out here.
Right into the MP9 though, and it's going to be a blend taking shape on the B site. Although Snappy's fallen, Hades is holding the line. The bomb also got dropped down on the top of the van. Such an awkward position. And Dexter will be finalized. ENCE are on fire as the flames glow bright. They take a 6-4 lead.
I actually want to go back to the round where They just stuck to defuse, Vince, and see how many bullets Diha tanked for Sphinx, right? Because Diha was taking so much of damage as well, eventually falling. So it literally came down to just the one bullet, right? 2 HP remaining for Sphinx. So yeah, that's something we're going to be watching later on after this game. The time being, though, 5 in a row for ENCE. It hasn't been easy, however. Come down to the wire, but the previous round, keeping 4 alive is definitely going to at least make the economy feel a little bit better. It's still not ideal. Everyone around the $2,000-ish mark. Diha and 550, but of course, for the time being, they have all the weaponry they need. But so do MOUZ. Torzi with the op on the T side, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, it hasn't been the prettiest of CT sides thus far for ENCE, but they've made it work, and that's sometimes one of the signs of a truly good team, is they can manage to grind out the rounds. However, if they're going to win a 7th, it's going to have to be coming from the behind, as Hades has lost his life to Torzi. Both the AWPers have had solid performances. 10 kills to Torzi, 11 to Hades, and with that opening pick, they can now feel a bit more confident in terms of just sitting out on A and waiting and seeing how this round plays out.
Solid mid, though, that's going to allow them to pivot quickly towards A if they need any help. But looking at Madden's aggressive positioning over here, he's even announcing his presence as well here, Vince. So Madden keeping the remaining T's at bay. That can allow ENCE to go for his B stack. Right now, they've completely relinquished control of B. It's bereft of any CT presence. But at some point, they need to pivot back. And there we go. Utility being lobbed in towards A. It's a bit of a ruse. And they have just abandoned the B bomb site. This could be the perfect call coming in from MOUZ.
Just got that little bit sweeter as well. Dexter has given them a 2-player advantage now. Snappy getting up close. Does have the off angle. Bomb gets dropped down, but it's going to be retrieved very quickly and planted. Just a few moments after, Diha, not sure if he was trying to jump up to the catwalk, but it may end up costing his life, as Torsi was there, laid in wait with the AWP. And that will be the red light shone in the eyes of Sphinx. And he will oblige. Goes to save his M4. MOUZ have broken down ENCE to size. And this is, again, one of the issues that they've had to contend with. D-Hat down on pretty low money. Everyone else is okay, especially if Sphinx can save this weapon. Or indeed an AK or an AWP if that's what he's looking for right now.
He's looking for the AWP, but it was right here. But Dexter, after getting that kill, I do wonder where he's tossed it towards. Because Dexter got a kill. He was selling the fake towards the A bomb side. He even gets a kill. And I'm sure he threw away the AWP. So I wonder where Daddy Dexter has hurled that AWP away. But that was such a well-constructed round coming out from MOUZ, right? Like, they faked it towards the A bomb side. Dexter even going for the commit. And he even did one better. Got the kill in that fake. And yes, he's had a bit of a quiet, individually quiet half. But it's okay. 6 and 5, still a very respectable scoreline here for the side of MOUZ. As you said it, Vince, money is a bit grim for ENCE once more. Utility quite sparse as well. You see, like, what, 4 smokes, 1 incendiary, a couple of nades, and just 1 flashbang as well. So if they have to go for a retake, it's going to be grim.
Certainly will. See if we get to that level, though. Smoke's now being deployed early on. They're not waiting around here. Oh, the T's, you said it. Dex has had a slow game. Well, that's a huge, rapid entry frag straight to the dome. But Snappy around the back, spraying down 2. This won't facilitate any more defensive maneuvers, though. They have to wait a bit longer for that rotation to come in. And now Diha makes the most as the smoke start to fade, start to clear. Torzi stuck in an awkward position, but still nails the shot. 3 HP separates him from his demise, and ENCE from a 7th round. The timing is everything. Torzi still has the opportunity to KO Snappy with 1 bullet, but he's concerned. Snappy was last spotted at top middle. This is going to be a call to potentially rotate back to the B side of the map, or he's just checking his back instead. Oh, this is going to come down to that timing, Blair. This honestly could still go the way of Torsi, even with 3 HP.
Oh, absolutely. If he gets a bomb down, then he has the advantage, 3 HP or not, considering the weapon he's wielding. Snappy, he's gone to his own head. Now he's going to be pivoting back. 18 seconds. Torsi still being very quiet. The numbers will be punching. Advantage to Torsi right now, Vince. It was a 1v2 with 3 HP, and he might just win this for his team.
Snappy has a smoke. He also is here fast enough that I think he knows that Torsi is in the CT spawn side. He's going to peek in. This should be Torsi winning the round, but the smoke does come out. Peeks just before it plumes, and clutches again for MOUZ.
14-7 for young Torsi on the T side. What a clutch. What a brilliantly played clutch. He never panicked. He's calm, composed. And this is after Snappy just ruined that boost coming in. Just so very sharp as Torsi. This first shot of Diha was just phenomenal. And then, yeah, playing it to perfection. Snappy starting to get paranoid, heading towards the B bomb set, allowing Torsi to cross on over and get the bomb down. And with that, they've broken the money. It was always in a precarious position. Finally, it has cracked for ENCE. And for MOUZ, a great chance here to take the lead. This has been a very fun game, Vince. It's been, sure, we've had some individual brilliances coming out. We've seen some cool stuff from MOUZ as well. We have that one round where they had limited utility, going for that very well executed A take, which they unfortunately lost. But then we saw the fake towards A, the B play coming in. Some cool rounds coming out from the side of MOUZ. And from ENCE, some individual brilliances as well.
That sucks so much. Like, you hear the dink sound and then you look at B-Mass's health and he's lost like 6. He's got tagged again. He's just gradually getting put down. I'm glad for him that he got that frag, because that would have been a bit embarrassing if he got 1v1'd against the USP.
Well, they make it clean. A lot of dinks coming in. 13, 22, and 33 HP for Frozen, Dexter, and Bemis, but that's what happens when you have the USP. It's really, really grim at times. But for MOUZ, they're in a very comfortable spot here. This is their map pick, ladies and gentlemen. A game where almost everyone, yours truly included, expected them to struggle against ENCE. But right now they're showing pretty good chops here. Putting the work. Flash is really good though, but Diha not able to find the kill, and a return flash blinding him for a couple of seconds, but he will fall back to safety. Still sticking around to its connector.
Yeah, wise to back off there. I thought for a moment he was going to try and wide swing on the chair. Nade comes out, and Diha is there to stand tall. There were 2 players in that position. B-Mass in the meanwhile goes in for the shoulder peek. Takes a bit of chip damage. Spinks through on middle. Gap in the smoke, utilizing it perfectly. A MOUZ on the back foot again, but we have seen them in 3v5s, 2v4s, grind this out and make them close. Don't forget that when ENCE picked up 5 in a row, multiple of those rounds were off 4 spies from MOUZ that got them down to 1v1, 2v2s. Torsi gets tagged on the cross though. He will be finished off by Hades, who goes in for more. And ENCE will be getting this round convincingly in the end. And it's going to be a very close first half scoreline.
Bemis has been fantastic thus far. It's a little too much for him. It's a little bit too much for him this time around. The 1v5 not gonna really come to fruition. For ENCE, keep Georgia players alive. They have the AWP retrieve as well, in the hands, of very capable hands of Hades. They're looking to take the lead here. Fortunately for MOUZ, they have more than sufficient money to go for the buy, so a very closely contested first half here in Mirage. ENCE really being forced to sweat.
We'll throw the caveat in and play devil's advocate, though, that ENCE on that T side is still going to be a very formidable team to deal with. Great shot from Torsi, though, as he moves to 15, and Hades decides to walk into the exact same position before backing off because they have no underpass control. And he realized, oh, hold on a second, my back is very vulnerable to being pushed in. So instead, repositions, gets his man, falls back. Excellent work from Hades.
There's still Bemis lurking towards a ramp position. Can't get the timing right. It's going to be very, very hard as JDC boosts it up. Will get the trade. A bit delayed, but he finds it. Smoke's pluming inside of Connector. It's going to be a bit suffocating there. MOUZ at 55 seconds. Still have a lot of time to work with, and Madden's been spotted. Bemis knows exactly where he is.
Oh, it's late, but he does get the job done. However, Diha has the cross. Molotov is in position. May not affect him. First kill goes his way. Needs to be clean. Headshots, though. And so Dexter can bypass that position. Molly thrown in to try and counter any more players crossing. So they go deep instead onto Sandwich. And Snappy is also alongside Diha, moving in from the CT side. Two-pronged retake comes into play as the plan has come into fruition. Frozen, though, takes the head of Snappy, and Diha is the next on the chopping block. The guillotine comes down, and it will see MOUZ lead by 1 round going into the second half.
Dexter was, what, like 1 in 8 or something at one point in time, or 1 in 10? He's had some very impactful kills coming in. Like, yes, sure, only 7 kills, but every single one of them has been very impactful. Yeah, despite Hades able to take down a danger man that is Torzi, that lurk from Bemis, catching them off guard. Great utility usage as well. They had so much of Molotovs remaining there for the T's. And Frozen and Dexter preventing the retake from taking place as MOUZ now head to the second half with a 1-round lead. It's a small lead, Vince, but they'll take it. They'll be happy with that. 8 rounds on the T side of Mirage, especially against ENCE. It's no mean feat at all. Now ENCE, though. The T side, let's see what they have in store for us here.
No frills. It looks like it's going to be a push, but this is pushing into 4 players. This is a stack, and Dexter's got the first. Flash is good. They can come back with kills. Diha with 2. Dexter comes in again for another frag before he's spilled down from Spinks. 2 on 2 now. There's damage done to Diha. But because this has been so rapid, they're not sure where these last 2 CTs are. They also need to go back and pick up the bomb. They could even pull the plug and get out of here. The timing against JDC, but he's going to stabilize. Somehow he survives this one, Diha, on 3 HP before Torsi will put him down permanently. 9-7. MOUZ pick up the pistol again.
Torsi saving his team there. That was very uncomfortable. Lack of utility. Also considering it's a pistol round. For ENCE to cross on over to the bomb set, but that was all Dexter. That was all Dexter. 3 shots amongst all the pandemonium on that A bomb site. Hope to see his POV here. All such a uncomfortable position for him to be in. I'm shocked he got a 3rd kill as well, but great stuff there from the IGL of MOUZ. 10 and 13 for him, considering the very rough start he had initially. ENCE, though, they'll go for the force buy. No bomb planted means it will be just the one AK-47 in the hands of Diha, being donated by his captain. Rest of them, Deagles and armor. For MOUZ, the bonus round, they opt to go for primarily rifles, Vince. We have the FAMASs come to play here, and just the one solitary MP9 in the hands of Bemis. And Torzi, of course, with the rifle, that is the A1. Utility, because of the investment in the rifles, means it will be a bit sparse for MOUZ. A couple of smokes, so the incendiary remaining. ENCE, they're going to have to take control of mid pretty comfortably here. You got to remember, Hades is just floating around the palace position.
Boosting up to bypass the smoke. Don't think they saw Dexter drop down from the triple box toll booth. Smoke clearing could come down to Hades, because he's going to be drawing away multiple angles from Connector. Hades does pounce in for 1. Trades back. BMAS, though, with the MP9 could be the ace up the sleeve. 28 seconds left. Double spray for BMAS, and he connects another headshot. And it's down to Diha now with his AK. He's already picked up 1. Spray slightly off. 20 more seconds allocated. Has control over the bomb. But no smoke, no flashes, nothing he can really work with. Gonna force the plant, brute force it in. Try and turn the tides back in his favor. Pressure MOUZ to push onto his location. Both remaining CTs have FAMASs, though. These rifles could be massive. Flash now picked up. Slight gap in the box is exploited. Nearly picks up the frag and nearly picks up the round. But 41 hit points is all Frozen required for a successful defuse.
That was so hard for MOUZ as well, because Dia had a hell to work with. The two FAMASs in play, and they had no utility. You said Dia didn't have any flashes or smokes to work with, neither did the CTs to flush him out from that position. So great work on the double peek there. Could have easily gone the way of ENCE. MOUZ will hold on. Bomb plant was confirmed though, so ENCE could still go for the force buy here. This is something MOUZ kept doing again and again until they came out on top. So there we go. ENCE buy will be coming in. AK still for Dia. The rest of them is going to be Galil's. Kevlar, limited utility, you know, handful of smokes, 4 smokes, a Molotov and a nade and a couple of flashes to work with. And for MOUZ, their money is also poised in a very precarious position here. Bemis playing up close and personal, so nearby. A 1v1 duel, and Snappy comes out on top of the Galil.
Impressive work by Snappy there on the drive-by. Galil triumphing over the A1S. That flashbang though is so solid, but Spinks returns fire. The player advantage maintained in favor of ENCE, and still well over a minute on the clock. They can slow it down and try and pick apart what remains of this CT side.
Rotating back towards A, it's a bit of a gamble play coming in from MOUZ. Not enough defenders as Dia peppering away through the smoke, but this is the right call from ENCE. They've managed to somehow make the timing work their way, and here comes the run on in. They have a player inside of Palaces, inside of B apartments as well, so it's going to be an empty bomb site, and for MOUZ it has to be a save. And the force buy from ENCE working out for them. The thing is, for MOUZ, they can still work around these the weapons they possess, and the fact that they have a little bit of a lead could give them the freedom to just force around this, right? Like the A1, the AK, Dexter can maybe drop a rifle for Torzi or Bemis. They can make they can't make a buy out of this. But for ENCE, they get to 8.
They definitely can now that JDC just upgraded his SMG to an M4A1S. So that is 3 rifles now that MOUZ are taking into the next round. That's why they went for that gamble stack in the first place. It's like, right, if they push into us, we can outright win. If not, we can hold on to our weapons, and with our lead, we can come back into the next round. So bomb detonates, 7 players make it out of the round. And I will see what kind of a buy they can get into play. It's 2.5k that Dexter currently has. So that could be like a FAMAS. Maybe you can drop something like an MP9, maybe some Deagles. They have options at least.
Still, the game poised pretty evenly thus far, and yeah, taking a look at the buy, we had a rifle and A1 getting dropped, and Torzi, he's like, you know what, screw it, I just need a scout. That good. For MOUZ, sorry, for ENCE rather, they're going to be going for a bit more of a slower approach, a bit of a defaultish play, Dia and Sphinx towards the A-ramp and Palace position. Madden picking up the bomb. The fact that they haven't had any man early towards B apartments, we can deduce the fact that it will be a hit coming in towards A Snappy. Oh, brilliantly played. Takes down the IGL of MOUZ.
Second round in a row that he's had such an important, impactful entry frag. Last time it was on ramp, and this on connector, and it's going to filter out the CTs that little bit more. Keep in mind, they put all of their money, all of their dollars and cents into this round. Good frag from JDC. Grenade does pretty much nothing in return. And now from the cross, Hades and Snappy activate into 2 kills of their own. Torzi and BMAS against the ropes. And to make matters worse, because they have no control over window, it's going to be a difficult route for them to back away and try and save if that's what the call ends up being. It looks like they are going to bypass the window control and position into a spot where they could feasibly save these 2 weapons. But keep in mind, it is a Scout and an MP9. They're not able to retain any control over these rifles. So it will be a little bit of a toothless save, a lack of investment into the next round.
Yeah, they would have loved to get their paws on the rifles, right? But not to be. Love this play from Snappy. Using that smoke as a tiny little one-way, catching Dexter off guard. And look at the money, it's grim. It's grim indeed, Vince. The one chance they have here, right? If Torzy can somehow be in the right place with a scout, tag away at some of the ENCE members coming out, the pistols and the MP9 can do the work. But looking at the utility ENCE possess, they're just going to go for the utility to be deployed to new to scout Bemis. Been spotted, but up close and personal, that is a great weapon to win the duel, which he will indeed, but Madden with the trade, and that's one of the saved weapons taken care of, and only the scout remain and 3 USPs.
Yeah, normal circumstances, that would not be a good trade for ENCE, but because, as you mentioned, it was one of the only things they had going in their favor, as there is a boost in, but it's a USP. Fruitless endeavors come to the forefront here, not able to delay the bomb plant. JDC tagging multiple times, but barely any damage done, and Diha barbecues Dexter. Tie us up to 10 apiece between these two teams.
And what's great for ENCE right now, Vince, is this 3-round streak they find themselves in. It's been clean. It's been very clean. And if you look, and it's reflecting the economy as well. I think it's about, what, 6K, 7K an average for the majority of the players. Well, 8K for Sphinx, $6,000 for a couple of the others, Snappy in 44, and Diha in 3,700. This is looking good. And look at Diha just running out like a lunatic. Okay, Daenerys, 6 HP, he will stay alive. But that was a mad play from Diha, and as Snappy falls, it's a 5v4, barely though. It's almost a 5v3 here for MOUZ, this early in the round.
Yeah, that was the kind of aggression that makes you really uncomfortable to watch. I mean, if he runs through and gets an entry, everyone thinks he's a genius. Nearly burnt to a crisp, but I think a HE was also tossed in as well. But unfortunately, even with that damage being done, they lose Snappy, and so MOUZ are in a commanding position at this stage. Think of the rounds that ENCE have been picking up as of late. They have typically got entries from Snappy. The last 2 rounds before this, he got 2 Galil headshots instantly, put them in such good position. Now they have to play from behind, and they also have to play from behind with one of their heavy hitters on a measly 6 hit points, and that is going to make a big difference in how they approach this. Look at the state of their positioning, though. 4 players completely isolated from one another, looking to try and hit this from 3 different angles: connector, ramp, and palace, locking down the triple box for the time being. Only 30 seconds to spare though, and Spinks has been bested. This is looking very comfortable for MOUZ. They may not lose a single player, which is exactly what they were hoping for, considering their money was in dire straits.
Yeah, less than 50 points of damage being taken there. Great hold overall from the side of MOUZ, and also because of the fact they lost Snappy early on. You said it right, Vince. A lot of the openings towards a connector, a short position, was being found by Snappy, seemingly single-handedly. I mean, Diha so low, it came down to the other 3 to really deliver, but a good hold from the individuals here. Torzy even being aware of the possibility of Hades sneaking in from window, and MOUZ have finally stopped the streak as Torzy teaming up with Dexter to find Snappy early on, but Dia's able to riddle him through the smoke. There's a player waiting at the edge of the smoke, though. There is a timer in this. Frozen needs to be careful. He needs to jump on across, and he will escape unscathed. But it's been equal trades thus far. Both the IGLs for both the sides have hit the ground.
Slight HP advantage in favor of MOUZ, however, as Madden and Hades taking some damage. Out the smokes, the initial smokes have cleared on the likes of Catwalk. It will be Torzy taking the initiative, getting aggressive. They talked about this on the desk. A player that does like to try and dictate the pace of these rounds. He doesn't retreat into his shell. He wants to come out swinging. And be careful what you wish for, though, because he's going to get peeped by 4 players. Deals a fatal blow to Madden, but traded out instantly afterwards. BMAS now has a beeline towards the connector side, but he gets traded out additionally. Diha and Spinks still in with a shot. 40 seconds to spare, but now it all falls upon Spinks. He should be able to finalize the bomb plant bare minimum. But now 2 players will be headed in his direction. Frozen and JDC both get hit by that flash. He's about to get flanked, though, from Frozen, who sweeps him aside. And although ENCE got the plant, it's easily diffused.
Can't believe JDC actually gets the kill. on a player through the smoke there. And yeah, despite the heroics of Diha, 3 kills for him, not to be. 2 kills for MOUZ through the smoke. A great hole nonetheless. And sure, the player just dies seeing 4 Ts, but that's information getting gleaned, right? And that's exactly what MOUZ needed to do. They're like, all right, we know where you guys are going to be coming in from. Frozen in the end, denying the clutch as well. By still going to be possibility here for ENCE. Torzy, his vision getting obscured. There's a number of flashes popping towards mid. You can see the amount of smokes getting deployed as well. A fast play coming in from ENCE towards mid here. But it's just to wrest control, but it's going to be a pincer. A split on his B bomb site.
Yeah, something we haven't really seen with a lot of apps present so far. Oh, that flick headshot from Diha was so important. And now the Molotov onto the benches, forces Frozen away. Good spray though, but he's being encircled. He's being swarmed by Ts. And Snappy makes sure there's no retreat for Dexter. No saved weapons in this round afforded to any of the B-side players. It's only BMAS who is situated on A that will be allowed to survive. So ENCE, an excellent retort to what was looking like a couple of shaky rounds there.
Yeah, that was a great call. The great switch up coming in from ENCE there. Standard mid control, that's been something they've been doing time and time again. But MOUZ are probably were conditioned to the fact that, yeah, sure, they go for this mid control play and usually winds up on that A hit. This time around, though, it was the hit towards B bombs, and despite there being 2 defenders in the form of, I believe there was Dexter and JDC there. No, not Dexter, rather. It was Frozen and JDC. They just got completely swarmed. Great stuff from ENCE, just losing 1 player as well. And Snappy just lurking on in, preventing the op from getting saved. So if you look at the money, a couple of players, I mean, they have a couple of guns saved, 2 players with money, but 3 of them are broke. So it's a hard decision here to make for MOUZ. What do they do with this? Do they try and buy around the 2 saved rifles, or do they just go for the eco? And the answer has been made. The decision, rather, has been made. It's going to be the force buy coming in. They had enough money on JDC to buy the op for Torzy. The rest of them, Deagles. This is such an important round here for MOUZ, and look at where this man is out in the open, Frozen.
Oof, he may get bypassed, though. I don't think they expect this. They have no idea. And once the smoke clears, Frozen can bypass multiple players here, get around the back of them. But has this sold his teammates down the river? Because Madden has pushed into connector, is now hiding there behind the smoke, and they have no idea he's here. No one has spotted Madden for the time being, and that's going to cost them dearly. Dexter gets shut down in the back. And so even if Frozen can get 1 from the backside, they've already lost control over the site. Now Torzy has a chance. He's already picked up 1. Bomb now gets denied just before being planted down as Frozen shows his hand, finally snatching the life away. Bomb in such an awkward position, but they can retrieve it. Going in for the plant now, Frozen's position compromised. Madden removes him from the situation. And with the smoke on jungle, it's kept the remaining CT stuck here. Flash out, but no effect onto Madden, who can keep his crosshair trained on connector, where Torzy is trying desperately to get some impact in. Madden runs out of ammunition, though. He has no bullets left, but still takes the head off of Torzy, digs him down to 8 HP. JDC is still here, and he gets killed by a flashbang, but Hades is alive, and he can play the time and take this round down. What a chaotic round this ended up being.
The team flash, Vince, the team flash for Madden, he had it. He played that one to perfection, but the team flash ruined his day. But in the end, Hades saving his team. They were so very low. And I don't even know how Torzy was getting those kills. It looked like almost every frag that MOUZ got in that round was through a smoke. It's insane. And just unfortunate for Frozen. Like, as you said, he went on past Vince. But because of how quick the hit was from MOUZ, he didn't have time. Sorry, from ENCE, he didn't have time to wrap around from behind, so he had to pivot back towards connector. All right, okay, there we see the kills that Torzy got, boosts at the edge of the smokes. Valiant attempt coming in there from Torzy, but it was not to be. And because it was the force buy, now they only have pistols to work with. A few P250s, a 5.7 upgrade for Frozen. As long as this man has his AWP, Can't still believe. There we go. Snappy will be the first to hit the deck.
Great shot, but you'd think at this point ENCE will have a good read of the economic situation. I think, right, his AWP situated around ladder room. Let's go elsewhere, but they decide to push into him instead, and Torzi is more than capable of punishing. He so nearly landed another flick. This is a B stack though, and ENCE are walking into this trap head first, and they have no idea. The fact they just got dry peeked though from 2 players may give this away. BMAS burns alive while JDC gets sprayed down, and it looks as though even though they walked into the trap, ENCE still come out ahead.
I like the commitment from ENCE there. Like they get the 2 kills. He sees the 3rd player on the side. They know the remaining players are there. They know it's a stack, but they're like, instead of pivoting back towards A, where you have no information as to where the other CT might be, they're like, you know what? Just swarm this. We've got the first 2 kills, especially with Bemis burning alive to the Molotov. And despite walking to the stack, they do a great job averting disaster, despite the efforts of Torzi. It's so scary with the AWP events, but ENCE 13 and 12, they take the lead. It's a tiny little lead though, as we have aggression now from the CT side. Torzi able to find a kill. Dexter finds another one as well. This is fast from ENCE, but they are getting met by a hail of bullets.
It's fast and it's loose and it's dangerous, and they've been punished. Now MOUZ, player advantage. Desperately needed this, by the way, because of their buy. They had very low investment in terms of utility. So this is doing them the world of good, just taking these heads off. BMAS with another one. And Snappy is the last man standing in Underpass. Has the bomb, but everything else has spiraled out of control. But he could do a good job of whittling down the economy, whittling down a couple of weapons, a few nades here and there into the next round if he can get more success. Still has time as well here. Grenade won't be doing much. And surely the second he starts to push into connector, he's going to get swiped from one side, goes into the window, and Frozen is there to push him back out. We're tied all even once again. This game could not be any closer.
Snappy was looking for just one more kill. Just one more kill to make money uncomfortable for MOUZ, but good work there. I like the switch up coming in from MOUZ. They're like, listen, if you're just going to be holding onto the bomb sides, we are getting pummeled. Torzi and Dexter striking simultaneously. Fighting fire with fire. We have the force coming in from ENCE. Well, I say force because Snappy has a MAC-10, but the rest of them have AK-47s, a lot of utility as well. Madden taking a little bit of damage, but he's going to be fine. Up still with Torzi. As ENCE gearing up for this B hit.
Volleys and nades thrown out. Snappy with the MP9, or the MAC-10 I should say. The T counterpart gets out first, but it's 3 kills back to back. Make it 4 as MOUZ lock it down in style.
Great hole coming out there. Torzi the only one to take a little bit of damage, and alongside Frozen as well. But Dexter, like, he's pushing so deep, but looking at where the CTs were at that range, the MAC-10 is just like a pea shooter at that point, right? And then clean shots coming from JDC. And the timing from Torzi as well, arriving just in the nick of time to shut down that hit from ENCE. This game, this map, it just keeps on delivering. 27 rounds in. And MOUZ have just a 1-round lead. But it's an important round to win, Vince, because to get this round, look at ENCE's money. It's not much to work with. Might be seeing them just even going for a full eco here, which means MOUZ can get to map point. And that's 2 opportunities to close this one out. 2 opportunities to take the lead on their map pick.
His last few rounds have been a little bit dicey on the side of ENCE. Having to save the SG at spawn gives them something to play with into the next round, but MOUZ really have come alive. Torzi, 30 kills in regulation. He has been so gigantic for his team that he's performed, and he's really proving why he is touted as being one of the next big things in terms of the primary weapon slot. Very impressive play. Spink's the man on your screen right now. Many people would expect he's the best player on the server in terms of skill level, but I think Torsi has outshone him today at least.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially with the AWP, he's been the best sniper in the server. Even though Sphinx is very, very capable with the AWP as well, but yeah. It's they've gone for the force. Okay, all right, ENCE. They didn't want to battle it out for OT, Vince. Want to play for the win. Risky ploy. They still have that SG in the hands of Hades. Tech 9s abound. 1 Deke for Sphinx. Very limited utility. 2 smokes, 2 smokes. 2 mollies, of which 1 has been expended. And 4 flashes, all they have to work with. They have control of mid, though. And they're playing this default as well as always. Snappy coming in from B apartments, going to be grouping up with the rest of his teammates. And it is going to be an A pincer.
Well-timed smoke. Frozen wanted to go for a quick look. Smoke in the eyes, though, of the connector contingent. And there's 4 players here. They're lining up. Dexter may be called upon. The AWP of Torsi was forced away. Dexter sprays in for 2. It's not going to be a third, but he's done more than enough as Frozen is here as well. And they've locked it down. The force buy simply does not work.
That was the gamble. That was the gamble play from ENCE, Vince, and it doesn't pan out. And that means $2,400. That's what they have to work with. So it's going to be a similar buy. But this time there isn't even a rifle. The previous one, at least I had Hades' SG. And that gamble buy has come to bite them in the ass. ENCE just with the pistols. They have enough utility to go for an A hit. And that looks like what they're going to be going in for here. Just an A execute. Try and swarm the bomb site, get the bomb down, and isolate the player who is in shadow. That is Bemis.
Last chance saloon on ENCE. Smoke's coming in. And Nuke potentially just around the corner. Smoke also tossed into Palace. It stops Sphinx from being able to explode out here. Flashes are in, but it's doing more harm than good for Tease. Spray from Dexter, not for the first time, on point. 2 kills go to him. AWP shot through the smoke, nearly finishes off Madden. Down to 9, finished off by the nade. MOUZ.
And I don't, like, you just hit the nail on the head there. I don't expect to see Diha perform like that on back-to-back Nuke games, right? He's usually one of the heavy hitters for this team. So here we go. The map pick from ENCE. The last time these 2 teams faced off on this map was in Dallas, where it was ENCE absolutely annihilating MOUZ as Dexter somehow staying alive long enough to find Madden.
1 for 1, pulling the plug in the meanwhile, but they do have another player down here in the ramp. So it's going to be darting back again. This does give them early ramp control, however, but because they're very centralized, they're not sure if they're being pushed from behind, from outside, or lobby. So ENCE start to make a move back into lobby again. Torsi on 6 HP, but it is going to be Frozen with the Julies perched at the top of hut. We saw Madden last time they played this ENCE get a 4K in the pistol round with these very weapons, with this very position, but it won't be the same on the side of Frozen. D-Hat and Sphinx explode into the site and get the bomb planted down.
And this retake's so disconnected as well, but the timing is brilliant for JDC. Hades will fall. Bemis is making a lot of noise as well. They have a kit as well to work with here, Vince.
They do. BMAS is drawing away 1 set of eyeballs up onto Heaven. An important trade is forthcoming now. Sphinx will get the drop from behind, and there's Diha from below. ENCE will take the pistol, but that was certainly a closer pistol than they were hoping for.
Definitely. JDC catching the timing, bringing down to a 2v2, but yeah, ENCE able to hold on. I like how they had a game plan there, just going for the fast play towards ramp, bringing to a 4v4, but just grouping up, just a death ball. Great timing on the peak as well. Sphinx and D-Hub ensuring that MOUZ do not get up to any further shenanigans. The force coming in, though, for the side of MOUZ. It's going to be multitude of pistols for Deegs. And the scout for Frozen, interestingly, being purchased. The smoke wall in place and slowly going to creep on down to its secret. One player does lie in wait, though. It's Torsi. And even though he just has a deagle, Vince, I'm just so scared for anyone who has to go up against him.
Oh, yeah. Any weapon in this guy's hands is a real danger and threat, but an excellent boosted up Diha. Removes his head, perfect crosshair placement, never really gave Torsi a chance to counteract or fire anything off. And with that pick, it will turn into 2. And ENCE are just slowly ebbing their way into a 2-0. And as you highlighted, with this being a force buy as well on the side of MOUZ, I'm not even sure if they can back off and save any of these guns, because Diha's already making moves outside. So the typical route that you go back to and save in CT spawn, that's not going to be available for them. They may have to stand and fight here. Frozen in the meanwhile is going to be forced away, and now Diha's making moves behind them. This is just going to be a complete disaster. They are being courted, drawn, and wrecked from ENCE at this stage, and BMAS is about to walk into the crosshair as Spinks. Down he goes. A clean round for ENCE.
Yeah, barely any damage getting taken, considering there was a force buy. It was flat for MOUZ. Every single duel being favorable for ENCE, right? We started off with the boost shot from Diha. There we go, catching the danger man that is Torsi, and every single duel, the rifles coming out on top. Very calm and composed approach there from ENCE. And there was never any single point where I'm like, maybe if MOUZ, they find a timing over here, they can pull off something. There's going to be full eco now. It's going to be Macton leading the charge, and Snappy sees 5 members. And that's going to be the Pistols going to work. 2 kills already, so they know it's just an eco. The dinks from the USPs are dealing quite a bit of damage. And still, Torsi and Bemis lies in wait.
Surely you don't lose this. He's pulled the Zeus out as well. He's prepared for the push. He's waiting.
Don't you dare.
This has already been a costly round though. Molotov out, and BMAS forced into the open, where Madden will secure their 3rd round. MOUZ though will have a buy coming in now, and Torsi will finally have an opportunity to get himself off the mark. 0-3 start for him, 0-3 start for his team.
You can also use Go Get It True. Roobet.com, just claim a free balance for these games being played out here right now. As you said, Vince, it's been a bit of a quiet start. 0-3 for the guy who dropped a 30 bomb in Mirage. Molotov making life very uncomfortable. He's going to be caught out in the open and whittled away and caught out. Actually Diha. Oh, the 2nd kill as well, tapping away onto Frozen. And Torsi didn't have a chance, Vince. He didn't have a chance at all, as Madden continuing to put in the pain. JDC will be dropped as well, and only 1 remains standing. It's Bemis, surrounded on all sides.
I mean, you finally get a buy. You get Torsi with an AWP in his hands, and then you just instantly get demolished. With just Diha basically just ran outside, no flashes, no smokes, 2 massive entries. At that point, the round is over. Bag it, tag it, send it straight to the morgue. Like, it's done. And what do MOUZ have to fall back on now, Blair? Like, even in some of these previous rounds, they've barely got any frags. Torsi's got 0. Only 1 kill for JDC, 1 kill for BMAS. The money is already booming for ENCE. They're in such a commanding position early on in this T-half.
Grim start, but that's much better. Dexter, though, looking for more. 2nd kill as well. Still staying alive inside of the smoke, but his days should be numbered. He needs backup. Torsi's there.
Doesn't necessarily need to move, but once that smoke clears, then Dexter's going to be living on borrowed time. I say that, though, but he still puts the bullet onto Madden. And maybe there is a way back in here as Dexter continues to just excel. A 4K for him, and Torsi picks up a frag. Man, how many times do we see this, Blair, where a team gets a rifle round, they get obliterated, next round they have a couple deagles, they somehow win? I swear this happens all the time.
I am flabbergasted with the fact that Dexter not just stays alive, but gets 4 kills. 4 kills. That's just ludicrous. Almost, he would have even got the ace as well if Torsi hadn't stolen it away from him. So yeah, talk about a bonus round for MOUZ. 3 AK-47s picked up as well. A shock and awe there. Player has slunk on through towards vents though. That is Sphinx. And because he's inside of the vents, W going to be pressed by the rest of his teammates. There's 2 players lying in wait though. Now it's going to be 3. 2 towards ramp. And you have JDC here.
Great spray, 2 kills, becomes 3. The bomb is down on the ground, and Torsi will make sure Spinks joins it. Fantastic hold by MOUZ. I was gonna say that in that previous round, just to play devil's advocate, yeah, you got the round, but like realistically, you can't really base an entire CT side off what effectively was a miracle play from Dexter. Well, that's going to build the confidence, and that definitely gives me a little bit more faith in the CT side if they can rummage together a few more rounds like that.
Well, what was a solid start for ENCE? You can see it's starting to affect their economy as well. A deagle out for Hades, and waiting for Dexter. Oh, Dexter, okay. He's come online here, Vince. Flicks out of Madden's head. But Diha, once again being a thorn on the side of Torsi, will take him down. That's the op put to rest, as Dexter will now drop down towards the vents. He's got JDC towards ramp position, and only one defender on the A bomb side. That is Bemis. If he falls here, Vince, that A bomb site, it's gone.
Absolutely. Even a 1-for-1 trade may not be good enough. But if he can get the kill to Snappy, stay alive and hot, that is going to be a very big pain in the ass for ENCE on the approach, because someone has to go and get rid of him first. He knows he's encircled, though. He knows there's multiple players here, and it is Spinks that deals the fatal damage. There's no one here to help him out. The CTs was so slow in the rotations. Now Spinks can line them up, nearly gets the double spray. Frozen puts an end to him, but with his teammate being put down in the form of Dexter, now they know exactly where he's coming from. He nearly catches an unaware Hades with a knife out. The fact that Hades was able to scamper off to the top of Hut and keep alive puts so much more pressure on Frozen. He has just picked up a kit, still has a molly, a smoke, and a flash, but misses out on the spray, and ENCE take the 5-2 lead.
Bit of a team shank as well. Now, the good thing for MOUZ is because the fashion in which they won their first round, they had so much of a bonus accrued because of that, so they will have no trouble going for a bye here. But this was, again, despite the opening from Dexter, Bemis all alone getting hunted down that upper bomb side, and it was not easy. Sphinx as well, he pointed out, Vince, almost gets both of them, but in the end, not to be. You had some questions about Diha, Vince, but he has definitely shown up here. 10-3 already. You got to remember, he had, what, 4 kills in the entire half when he played against Eternal Fire. So he has definitely stepped it up. Then take his name, and this time around he will fall to Torsi. He will find his vengeance.
Yeah, I mean, to put it in perspective, against Eternal Fire, he finished Nuke on 4 kills and 18 deaths, 0.45 rating. And again, the reason we're bringing that up isn't to pour salt in the wounds. It's because the guy is so damn good that when you see a performance like that, it really stands out. It shocks you. And this is why. 129 ADR. That's obviously going to drop because he didn't do any damage on his way out in this round. But the impact this guy's had so far has been gargantuan. Bemas, though, holding the line, dealing fatal damage to Hades. Just shy of 40 seconds on the clock. Well-placed mollies, though, forces away and allows Madden to vent dive down. Now, they surely know this is a possibility as JDC is trying to fill in the gaps, but 2 separate angles he has to watch out for. Nicely threading the headshot in onto Madden, and then goes back in for more and doubles up his kill frag count. In doing so, ENCE only have Snappy left, 15 seconds, not much he can do. Some damage would be nice, but it's looking good for MOUZ to get their 3rd round here. And it will be a comfortable one at that. As Snappy goes down to the hands of Bemas.
Brilliant pivot play coming out from JDC there. And the player inside the control room, he heard the footsteps, but he couldn't do much because the window still hadn't been broken. And Madden, yeah, he managed to make his way down towards the vents, but he needed to cross on over. The JDC, brilliant work with the A1. And ENCE getting shut down here. Just a repositioning as well, catching the second player off guard. Finished with Bemis to finish off the job. A clean round coming out from MOUZ, and it is going to be a 4 spy here. Not often you see the dualies come out. It's going to be a fast hit coming up towards the upper bomb side. The flashes are good, and they're a rifle.
Value attempt from Frozen, but it could be too little too late. Smoked off on main as well, but now JDC shows his hand. He doesn't finish the frag. 2 HP separating Spinks from his demise. This grenade could feel the end of a round for JDC. He's throwing in the smoke for the lurk. And Snappy is below him with the Tech 9. The fact that ENCE even in a 2-on-2 as Hades is somehow still alive. Torsi missing a shot. You'd expect him to land. But it's unbelievable that we're even in this position to start off with. And now Snappy is going to find Torsi. Position now known. JDC drops down onto the side. Snappy round the corner with a Tech 9. Has landed multiple shots. Actually has the upper hand in the health department. But the flash lands square on his jaw. And JDC will clutch out.
What a hero. JDC, he could not have played that better. He was so low, Vince, 28 HP versus 48. He tosses in the flashbang, and the second the flash pops, that's when he has to take the duel, and he finds it. Brilliantly done there by JDC. But honestly, it never should have been this close. What a pop explode coming out from ENCE. It really caught MOUZ off guard there. If not for the heroics of JDC, this would have been a round going the way of ENCE, which would have been such a shocker. Oh... Torsi, very fortunate to be alive there, but Frozen. There to bodyguard his teammate. Is that a bit of a quieter start here has Torsi, especially considering how he was so inhuman on Mirage. As Frozen looking for the ace, and Torsi will deny him. A little bit of a shake of frustration, but that's okay. They tie things up.
He looks up to the heavens like, come on, bro.
Yeah, being a bit of a rat there. He saved you, and you deny the ace. Like, come on, bro.
Think of it this way, Frozen. If your Star Orp has had a bit of a slow start, give him those kills, feed him a little bit of confidence, and later on, he might just carry you to the win. Great hold. It was against an eco, so we can't get too carried away, but his aim was so on point here. Again, showing what Frozen is capable of.
Well, as you said, Vince, it was an eco. Torsi. Aggressive posturing towards Ramp. We saw him being such a thorn and decided to fire this position. Sphinx was ready for him, but Torsi so quick on the trigger. Nade sails in. Oh, doesn't deal enough damage though. Just chips away a little too short of their position. Information gleaned as Torsi gets caught out in midair. Diha plucks him down into the ground. Look at the speed. Look at the pace being set here by ENCE.
Why would you jump up with an AWP there? I'm so confused. Like, what are you going to gain from that? Maybe info, but the risk versus reward doesn't seem worth it, you know?
Absolutely. There are other ways to gather info. There are ways to jump where you don't expose your body for so long up in the air, using the doorway frame, for example. But yeah, just getting punished for that play and quickly taking care of Dexter as well. Has ENCE and get it. This one's done. This one is done. They're not even able to salvage the AWP considering where it's been dropped, but it's fine. They have money. Money's not a problem here for MOUZ. The problem is the number of rounds ENCE have managed to accrue here on the T side. Because the T side is where they struggled with earlier in this tournament.
Yes.
The CT side of Nuke for ENCE, it's a brick, it's a titanium wall.
Yeah, that was the case as well. Even when they lost against Eternal Fire, I mentioned this earlier, it was 13-2 on their T half. So they've already tripled up from that last man, that very disappointing and dismal performance. But even then, Eternal Fire won 16-10 in the end, which still is one-sided, but you have to take into account that ENCE did post up 8 rounds on their CT side. So yeah, absolutely. The stats do not lie, Blair. You're spot on. And that's going to be worrying for MOUZ, knowing that the best is yet to come for ENCE.
Diha spots out Torsi, frozen up close here. Remember, Diha's always lonesome. In the meantime, two-prong attack here. Frozen needs to survive. He'll do one better. He will get the kill. That's Danger Man taken care of, but ramp control has been wrested by ENCE in the meantime. But JDC smartly not looking to take the fight, but the 3 members are dropping on down. JDC has to be a turret.
Yeah, you feel like he has to get at least 1 kill, maybe 2, and he gets caught Madden on the approach, but Dexter's there, gets the frag, drops the doors into position. Grenades going too far behind him. Hades, I think he got dinked by Dexter, but survives on 9 HP and still puts his AWP down range. Frozen, who's moving in, should get the drop. Snappy, though, surviving. More damage inflicted. Frozen down on 12, and now the smoke is in decon. It feels like maybe MOUZ have missed their chance. That door of opportunity comes slamming closed in their face. Flashbang out. They need Torsi if they're gonna realistically go for this one, and I'm not sure they should with the time being this low on the fuse. It has to be quick. It has to be now. Even with that pick, there's not gonna be enough time. BMAS comes in for a frag. Hades could be going down on 9 HP, but the time is gone. The bomb will detonate. Hades may very well go down as a result, but BMAS surviving doesn't change the fact that ENCE now is 7-5 in the lead.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. At this point, you need to start stringing a few rounds together here, and that retake just took so very long, Vince. So very long, and great utility usage as well. From ENCE, the incendiary is just keeping MOUZ at bay. And honestly, at one point, I felt like they should have just pulled the plug. Even if they get the kill over here, there was no time remaining. Look at how low Frozen was. There's really no realistic chance of them going for this defuse, and that's saved. At least they maybe have a little bit more of a comfortable buy, but nonetheless, still rifles will be in play here for MOUZ. Nade sailing in, taking a chunk out of Frozen. It's taking even further damage. He needs to be careful. Nade gonna be lobbed in. That could do so much of damage, and look at that. Diha down to 34, Snappy to 60.
Yeah, that is one of those juicy grenades where it looked like it was going to do damage, and it did. Some bullets also put in at the same time. Unconfirmed. But still, if they get into the thick of it, if they start trading blows downstairs on the B side, you would feel like MOUZ are in a good spot. That being said, though, there's no one actually down here on the site itself for the time being.
This is curious. I mean, they know there's no one outside. I mean, they should have known they could have potentially crossed on over. And JDC is going to be sticking to its ramp. So yeah, this is a free round. And Sphinx on the lure catches both Beavis and Dexter. MOUZ have just gotten absolutely smattered this round, and I am a bit bamboozled, Vince.
As am I. Yeah, I mean, they knew with the smoke wall outside that Secret was a very real possibility, and they had one player watching B from ramp, which, as we know, is so easily mollied or smoked off unless you hit insta headshots, which did not happen. So ENCE get the free bomb site. Sphinx is still in lobby this entire time waiting for a rotational play, and everything worked out perfectly for ENCE. The good news for MOUZ, if we're being optimistic, is they saved 3 guns, so they can buy again. They're not completely broken down here, but already ENCE will be leading come that second half, and we've already discussed what to expect when they get through on that CT side.
That was the easiest round for ENCE. Like, for 13 rounds in, they take a little bit of damage towards outside from Frozen's nade and his bullets, and they just walk into an empty bomb set. And I'm sure they would have been as surprised as we were, but a happy surprise. And then Sphinx catches both Beamus and Dexter. So, that's a bit of an ugly round for MOUZ. A round they would be looking to forget, a round that I'd be looking to forget as well. This is a bit of a switch up, though. Frozen being aggressive, but I think it's been seen, and Diha will punish him.
I don't want to call this map too early because we know that MOUZ can definitely bring this back. But the way that ENCE are playing, the confidence we're seeing from key players like D-Hat and Sphinx, this feels like it may be a bridge too far. Torsi is still yet to really show us that level that we know he's capable of. And losing the early players, just put that much more emphasis and pressure on these CT defenders. However, it is more of a stacked site. There's also the element of verticality, but they're checking all of these angles. Dexter, though, with 2 spray is good to try and retrieve this round, but it will fall down to Torsi, who's stuck in heaven. And they're going to go for the vent dive as well to B site. A wise decision. Hades will finalize this bomb plant, which completely changes the dynamic of this round on its head. Torsi at least makes the correct decision to push down ramp as opposed to vent dive. But considering the positions right now, of ENCE. This feels like such a difficult round to retake, and Torzi agrees. He's already pulling the plug, he's tapping out, and he's looking to save that up for the last round of the half.
Slowly having to slither away. Not much you can do. What a round from Dia, Vince. Gets the opening pick, catching Frozen towards outside, and then just the 1-2 left and right hook to take down both the defenders on A, and yeah, after that, round's pretty much done. 9 and 5, ENCE have just brutalized MOUZ this round. Final round here, ENCE probably going for the jugular. Looking to get to the double digits and make life even more easier. We said like even 5 or 6 rounds on the T side for ENCE, they'd still be happy, but 9 and a potential 10? Yes, sir, please, if you're ENCE.
Well, I'll be very happy with this outcome right now, but Torzi at least is going to make it sting a little bit more. No freebies, still here to fight, still here to battle to the bitter end. Doing so sends shockwaves down the rest of ENCE. Spinks has been taken down, and JDC's getting aggressive, getting around the back of the T's right now. They have no idea this is a possibility. Although he may have missed his chance, and Hades flicks him out the server for the last time in this half.
Oh, nothing is going their way, Vince. That's heartbreaking for JDC. Those could have been 2 free kills for him at the bare minimum, and Hades just turns around, says no. 5 HP. Still. Yeah. Smartly, he knows where both the players are. This is smart from him, just keeping them at bay. That's information gleaned. They know where 2 of the defenders are. And looking at Madden's position, this is looking grim for MOUZ.
Oh, he's getting so much information, but BMAS puts him down at least. Allows MOUZ to keep a couple players downstairs as Torzi is going from strength to strength. Better late than never to show up. Hades 5 HP, Snappy 48 HP, and Dexter about to show his hand from main. Snappy may very well bounce back, but it's only going to be on short amounts of HP remaining and time. And from above, Frozen will strike. MOUZ do pick up the last round of the half, but it will still see them trail by 3. ENCE are in such a commanding position now.
At least the bit of a consolation here for MOUZ to get the final round. But it's a small consolation, Vince. Tiny one indeed. ENCE now looking to put up this CD side. And you got to remember, even against Eternal Fire, right? Sure, they lost it. But we could see how they were starting to mount that comeback, right? There were certain rounds where they were just completely shutting out Eternal Fire, but they just didn't have enough rounds on the T side to work with. This time they have 9. So ENCE are feeling comfortable. A fast hit coming in towards the upper bomb side, and Sphinx looking dazed and confused. Will fall. The duelie's getting nothing done.
That is 100% him making a mistake or I don't know, panicking. Dropping down on their heads there was not the play whatsoever. We'll see if it ends up costing them dearly, though, as Snappy is still putting down the kills. Hades from the backside gets traded out, bomb planted in amongst all of this, but it's down to Frozen. 1 on 4 has picked up 2 frags already, and a third as well. Forces him off the site. It was so nearly so perfect, but instead he will be pipped to the post on the last hurdle, and ENCE will claim the second pistol.
Heartbreak again for MOUZ to get the crucial opening, take down a Danger Man, and then Madden denying Frozen there. Just gets off the C4, just taps him away, Vince. It's just gotta be just so heartbreaking. Now ENCE putting the pistol round, looking to further establish their lead. With a bomb down, though, we will see a force coming in. A couple of Galils, the AK for Frozen, Scott for Torzi, and just a solitary Deagle for Dexter. Deha, such a demon to its outside on the T side, and he's looking to recreate it here on the CT side. He's heard the drop, he heard so many footsteps, and it's conveying all the information.
Oh, this is such a huge position. He may not even be required, although now he will. Hades has fallen down in the garage. And Dexter tagged to 20. Bomb still outside, and Snappy is there to help him out. They're bolstering up this defense. Dexter fakes the vent dive, but it doesn't matter. As long as the bomb is outside, none of this matters. ENCE do not need to budge an inch. All the pressure's on MOUZ.
Absolutely, and the thing is, both the players alive here, I mean, they have the rifles, they have full armor as well, and Dexter is just internally hemorrhaging. They're gonna try and be cheeky here, though, Vince. This is one angle they could potentially try and catch someone off guard. And they have a lot of time to work with. And the longer they take, ENCE, they might start to doubt themselves and get a little nervous, a little uncomfortable with the positions. But this is a perfect crossfire. They don't need to budge.
Exactly. Even as far as they're concerned, if Dexter did go down the vents and was coming up through secret, they have cover from both angles where DHA can lock it down. That's why he's peeking right now onto secret side. 25 seconds. He's just peeking out now and again to make sure that he still has eyes on the bomb. This is just, as you said, it's been played spot on from ENCE. There is no way forward. BMAS, though, connects the headshot. I tell you what, I thought at the end he might have actually had that, all things considered, but ENCE have pushed away the T's and secured an 11th round.
Yeah, that was just, I'm not too sure why Snappy had to go for the peak. That was a guaranteed round, but came down to the 1v1, and in the end, it's all good. All good in the hood for ENCE. And for MOUZ, considering it was the force buy, they're going for it again, Vince. They're going for it again. They know they had taken down 4 members there for ENCE, so they're looking to break the money, so I can't really blame them. Snappy's going to be blinded, though, and he might be taken down here. He'll at least find one, but the trade will take place.
Spinks is so rapid downstairs, though, with his MP9. They're going to try and tear through all of these T's, but JDC puts the MAC-10 to use. They're hiding in decon, smoke in the eyes, and the bomb is being planted safely. But now Hades can spring into action. He activates with the M4, running out of ammunition, running out of health, and JDC puts him down with authority. The last 2 remaining T's are low. That smoke could keep Madden out of this round, or perhaps not. They still frag down. But Blair, bomb plant, 3 players down from the CTs. Do they go again? Do they run it back?
You go again. Go for it. Oh, and they have money now. They have money for the full buy, right? So it's fine. It's AKs out for everyone. No, maybe no op for the side of for Tozy yet, but it's okay. Got the bonus money along with the bomb plant, along with the kill bonuses as well. But that got scary. How many times have we seen a CT player lose a duel because of the lack of bullets in the A1 today, Vince? We saw it happen so many times with Rops earlier for FaZe, and we've seen it a few times here as well.
Yeah, I wonder if it's that muscle memory of just being used to having the extra 5 bullets that catches people off guard. Speaking of which, Madden has just been smashed up through that smoke. No chance at all. A MOUZ hanging by a thread in this game. But they know if they're successful in this round, ENCE will be broken down and they can quickly start to bite and eat into this deficit that they're currently facing. 6 can very quickly become 3 or 4. And that's where things begin to get interesting on this T half.
Well, the opening duel won by MOUZ, and to be looking to take advantage of this. Frozen still lurking outside by his lonesome. The remaining members grouping up towards ramp. Snappy needs to be careful. He doesn't want to be caught off position, but Hades with the op. The timing could be everything, and he's going to find JDC.
Yeah, and Snappy's there as well. This is such a good lockdown. It was really propagated off Hades landing the first shot and forcing MOUZ into an aggressive retaliation. And it played into their hands perfectly. And now MOUZ only have Frozen. And considering that they went in for a force, no real money left in the bank. He needs to have impact, and Spinks will have him on the cross. ENCE are looking good to take us to a 3rd map.
Despite getting the opening, they walk into the blender. The timing to speak as well from Hades, right? Avoids a flash as well, and because of the distraction being created by Hades, Snappy able to find 2 free kills. They weren't expecting that setup this late in the round. For MOUZ now just down to the pistols once more. Fast hit coming up to the upper bomb site. Madden needs to be careful. Good for one, good for the second. Make that the third as well with the incendiary. So MOUZ just running out straight to the death like lemmings to the party. And ends round number 14.
Consolation kill at the end for Torzi. Does allow him to bolster up his buy a little bit more. Expecting him to pick up the AWP here. It does depend as well on the style they want to go for. If they want more of a run and gun and a fast execute, then maybe he doesn't pick up the AWP and he goes for the AK. So perhaps him taking the AWP suggests that we're going to have a bit of a slower pace round. But yeah, that was absolutely reminiscent of Lemmings, which by the way was a banger game that I would imagine no Zoomers know what we're talking about with that one, but it is what it is.
No one does. Also, do you know that lemmings actually don't jump off cliffs? It was actually fabricated for the documentary they made back in the 50s. And they actually forced the lemmings to jump off the cliff just for the video.
Bruh.
Yep. Humans are wild, man. So lemmings don't like committing suicide. It just actually a myth propagated due to a fake nature documentary.
As a species, we're kind of assholes, aren't we, sometimes?
Yes, we are, Vince. Yes, we are. But sometimes we have some redeeming qualities. Sometimes. Madden catches JDC, who will fall to his death from above. Bemis is waiting to catch Diha off guard. Diha. Oh, tiniest of angle to Frozen gifts Hades the kill.
Yeah, this is just looking like the last few moments of life in MOUZ on Nuke, and Hades is putting them down quickly. At least is administering the mercy kill. No torture here, just finish them off quick, get across the overpass. And last time they faced each other, it was what, 16-9? So this is shaping up to be an even more dominant win.
Yeah, ENCE just showing, like, they're just flexing here. They're like, all right, you might have a chance in Mirage, but this is just a beautiful sequence of kills from Hades. The flashbang catching the second player as well, and he reads the peek coming in from Torzi. Brilliant stuff from ENCE. They are definitely on fire, our Enceladus. I've always wondered if the ENCE logo is like something like Cthulhu, like a Lovecraftian beast, or is it based on some Greek god or something?
Oh, I'm sure Natu told me at one point. I don't remember. I think it is based off some kind of mythology, though.
Okay. Something like a kraken, I guess. But we'll get back to talking about mythological monsters, as it is going to be a hit coming in here. And Hades, oh, good, the re-peek. Oh, the no-scope won't land, however, and he will be found out. But they still have to contend with Snappy.
Well, they most certainly do. And many more of the CTs. However, Snappy has fallen on his sword as JDC plunges it into his head, courtesy of that AK. And now Spinks, oh, man, that's had a lot of impact so far. Will have no further impact in this round. Falls upon the Polish contingent of Diha. Smoked off on one side. Tosses in the smoke and just backs away. Realizes, look, we got a ton of rounds at our disposal. We don't have to rush in here. Let's make sure that we have a nice solid economy to build off. And listen, we'll beat them further on down the line. This was just this is a fluke. And I believe this is the first round that MOUZ have actually picked up on their T half. So yeah, ENCE are going to be feeling supremely confident regardless of this outcome.
It has been pretty dry when it comes to success for MOUZ, but yeah, at least a constellation round here. But just stick a gander at the money for ENCE. 10k for Hades, 8,000 for Sphinx. Everyone's flush with cash. Diha with 3,300, but it saved the M4 as well, so they're feeling pretty comfortable. And it does feel like, you hate to say it, right? Like as a caster, you want to set it up. It's like, oh my god, this could really be the comeback taking place. But the fashion in which ENCE have been winning these rounds, it hasn't even been close. So I'd be lying if I said I expect MOUZ to even like bring this one back. But maybe they can make things a little bit more respectable. But I do fear that it is just delaying the inevitable. The ball is going to be coming in once more for ENCE. Pretty far from Diha. That's going to give away his position, and he will be found by Frozen.
Solid kill, but it's at great cost to Frozen's HP. He's down to 7 in total. Hades looking to try and mix up his angles. A flashbang lands right in his face, and he has to shoot off. And in doing so, he gives his position away. He is at least allowed the ability to fall back onto the B site. Madden, in the meanwhile, though, this timing is going to work against him because Dexter's already bypassed the garage, and Madden has no idea. Oh, this is going to absolutely wreck the CTs. They have no idea at all, and they've also rotated everyone downstairs to B.
This is a disaster. There is no one on the upper bomb site, and it's too late. Dexter's already gone on in. Dexter spots a player out, instant headshot. Looking for more. He will be found, but what did he do with the information they've gleaned? Frozen's got the kill here, and Hades now lurking around inside a mini. It's a 2 versus 4. But 40 seconds on the clock. So low is Frozen, and now a 3v2. They're coming in to the belly of the beast that is Hades. He will find one before he finally gets dropped, and it's down to Snappy now. 1 versus 2.
Coming up from the vent is going to be such a difficult ask, but I almost guaranteed got spotted by JDC. Yeah, he's looking into the vents. I was worried there that JDC was going to go in for that tight angle and get blocked off by the yellow beam. And then Snappy was going to be able to get up, actually, and maybe even get the drop onto him. So it would appear that it's going to be another save. Starting to see that CT economy brought back down to reality with a bang. But as you said, Blair, I mean, you know, part of being a commentator is wanting to build narrative and create a bit of interest in the game. But it's also about being genuine, right? And if we're sat here saying, oh, Mouse are going to do it, they're going to bring it back, I think we'd be lying to ourselves for the time being. It's up to them to prove to us that they have a chance to bring this back. They've had a bit of success. They've won 2 rounds in a row. That's great. But even within that confines, we have seen ENCE nearly pull it off. A 2-on-3, Hades nearly just went nuclear there. So I don't have full faith in Mouse just yet. If they can win another 2 or 3 rounds, though, then it starts to get interesting.
Yeah, once they get to double digits, that's when I start to maybe slightly sway their way. Bit of a fail there. No one saw it. It's okay. It's all good. Just a few thousand people. D-Hub. Oh, Hades. Okay, that is a bit unreasonable. On a whiffed shot, and Diaz, his days are numbered here. He will still somehow find Torji if we're getting taken down. It's a man advantage at 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining on the clock for ENCE. Is Hades really going to opt to take this duel? Because if he falls, it's untradeable. Look at how deep Snappy's pushing to ramp as well. MOUZ are getting funneled in towards the upper bomb site here, Vince.
Yeah, they're getting manipulated and misdirected into an area where they're not going to be favorites to win these duels at all. And Hades playing with his food. HE could be there to greet him, could do a bit of damage, and indeed, it just chips him away. He's down to 70 now. But when you have Spinks up on the vents, Hades outside, and aggressive positions being maintained from the likes of Snappy, this does not bode well for MOUZ. 40 seconds left. They do have smokes, mollies, and flashes at their disposal, but I'm not sure they're going to get a chance to really get any kind of use out of them here, because the second the A site is called, Snappy has such a fast rotation. They have 2 players in separate angles of aggression as well to fend off this push. A molly tossed onto the Squeaky with a HE as well, but Frozen has got a very important entry alongside Dexter. This is where Madden's position could be so huge. Do they even go in for this check? The flash is out. Madden sprays in for 1 and a second as well. 10 seconds to play with and keeps himself alive. Dexter has to force his way into this round. And with 5 seconds to play with, it won't be happening. Madden has played this one perfectly. This is where you have your best opportunity, your best chance. However, it is time for our 3rd map. Knife for Side's obviously going to be coming out as we've got to be fair, we've actually hit a lot of 3rd maps out in our best of 3s, honestly. We haven't had too many complete shutouts or total wreckages so far, Blair. And today's games, other than that Nuke 16-6, has been pretty close maps as well.
It has indeed. Although that being said, on a secondary stream we saw FaZe make quick work of 9Z. I really wouldn't have expected that, but FaZe doing very good in that group. Meantime, lives are out, and MOUZ are going to have a pretty comfortable time with that. No time being wasted, and they should be opting to start on the CT side. No surprises there, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Cider map, the final map of the evening. MOUZ having taken Mirage, their map X16-13, then getting battered on Nuke by ENCE. Looking to take this series, but it has to be on Overpass. For those of you who tuned in earlier on, it was FaZe, one of the big favorites of not just their group, but the entire tournament, falling to big in a pretty convincing fashion on this very map. Overpass has been a map of upsets, seemingly. MOUZ, though, here we go. We have a kit in the hands of JDC, a couple of flashes, the rest of them just USPs and Kevlar. Heavy stack, and look at the aggression from Dexter. The IGL getting a lot of information, and that's going to allow MOUZ to keep 4 players here stacked towards B.
Yeah, that is huge. There's going to be a ton of utility, though, tossed onto the site. Flashes, mollies, smokes, everything you could really ask for, but it's Torsi that knocks the bomb down first and foremost. Dignitas straight back. They still have water control right now. The bomb is going to be planted down by the weakened player of Madden, and successfully so. That rotation now coming to the forefront. It will be Dexter. He needs to have some impact, needs to try and draw away some fire from that water contingent, and he's done just that. He's bided enough time to allow Frozen to get in position and maybe strike down. But with Frozen going down to the hands of Madden, it now falls all upon Dexter. 38 HP to his name, and no kit. Has to tickle a bomb. Hope that Snappy gets overzealous on this peak, but it won't be coming to fruition. Even if Dexter lands a crazy one tap, there's not enough time. There's no way forward. Nice effort from Dexter, but it was too little too late.
What a flank and what a spin around kill as well from Dexter. But as you said, Vince, the kid was nowhere nearby. It was in the hands of JDC, who had fallen. So round being won by ENCE, and this is despite the fact that it was a full stack from the side of MOUZ here, but yeah, eventually, despite what an incredible shot there from Dexter, it was not to be. ENCE will win the first round. Force buy will be coming out here for the side of MOUZ. Dexter with 3 kills and a saved Kevlar will purchase an A1 for himself. The rest of them, it's a bit of a motley buy. A couple of Deegs, the MP9 for Bemis, and a hold towards long. This is something they're expecting ENCE to do, right? Especially on the anti-force buy. Many teams would opt to head towards the A bomb site, looking to make their way from long. But instead, ENCE opt to just go for the contact walk. His smoke is a tell, but they're not making any sound whatsoever. They're going to find an empty A bomb site.
It's not even as if it was a full stack either on the B side. It's just that happened that you play 2 players on long. Landing some scout shots, though, could make this an interesting proposition on the side of MOUZ. It could also bait them back into a retake. They've already kind of committed to this, and with Frozen removing the head of Diha, they may very well go for it. Lack of kits, though, could be a problem. Lack of grenades also could be a problem, but they're going to try and choke out the rest of the T's. All lumped around bathrooms. 1 player on long additionally, as Spinks loses his head from Frozen's Deagle. Next player up is Hades. Needs to spray down. They line up for him, and he gets 3 headshots in quick succession. And there's just not enough time left on the clock, even with some damage being inflicted. And a nice effort from Binas. He is going to die to the bomb. So everyone neutralized come the end of this round, and considering that it was a force from MOUZ, that is not a great outcome.
Yeah, great shots from the Deagles coming out there, but he needed more kills from the A1. Frozen able to find 2. Oh, the second shot as well on his Sphinx. So I don't know, like, are MOUZ gonna be going for the force? No, they're not. Opt to just stick around with the full eco. CD side economy woes. ENCE are aware of this. 2 MAC-10s in play, just looking to farm a bit of cash here, but Bemis up close. Oh, that's a brilliant find. Sphinx will fall, and that's one of the rifles.
Indeed is one of the rifles. The CZ tailor-made for these kind of angles, but D has too fast on the trigger with his MAC-10. Forces away that connector control. And Torsi bypassing the initial bullets, but can't do anything about Diha wide swinging him. And so looking good for ENCE to secure a 3rd. Just something to keep in mind, though, in this series. Spinks has started a bit rough here on a 0-3. but he's actually having an uncharacteristic off performance here. He is typically the guy that, if nothing else, he is Mr. Consistent. In this series, he's down at a rating of 0.9 and has a -4 kill to death ratio with just 68 ADR. Now, again, similar to how Diha had an off game the last time we casted them, that is a shocking kind of statistic, Blair, because this guy is typically up there as one of the top fraggers on the server, never mind just ENCE.
Oh yeah, for sure. But, oh, okay. Amos at least able to get a consolation kill, but despite that, I guess, you know, it comes down to, when you look at the overall scheme of things, it's still no panic yet for the side of ENCE, right? And then you have Diha really delivering. And fortunately for ENCE, the one player who I've been a bit critical of has to be, you know, Hades, right? And how he can be supremely inconsistent, especially for a primary opera. You don't want to really have that, but he has delivered for his team alongside the man you mentioned, Diha, who had a quiet game earlier on in the tournament. So they have definitely made up for it. And that's the luxury afforded when you have so many hard hitters on this end side. Here we go. The buy will be coming in. Torzi with the AWP, taking a bit of damage down to 69 as he will scamper back all the way to the bomb side. This is again an early 4-man stack from MOUZ towards B, leaving Torzi to his own devices.
Flashes through. It won't affect Spinks, who's already up close. B-Mass may go for this peak. Gets punished. Spinks too fast on the draw. Will win out that duel, and in doing so tries to force back. There's 3 players still here. Flashbangs in, but it's the back 10s that just close the distance and close the eyes of a couple of these CT defenders. A lot of damage inflicted, and Dexter nearly just outright kills 2 of them by himself, but still goes down. And considering that was effectively a bonus round, ENCE are in such good shape.
Nice attempt from Dexter there. It was so very low, was snappy too. Would have potentially come down to the 1v1 with Sphinx. Not sure about that. Beamish is going for the wide swing, and yes, you said it, Vince. Considering we had like a couple of SMGs in play, they're going to be very happy with the way that one played out, keeping 2 still alive. One thing I have to say though, Dexter has been pretty sharp. I know he had a very slow start in Mirage. Then overall, individually, he has been looking pretty solid here for MOUZ, but not enough, seemingly here. As ENCE going for an early poke and prod towards B. It's just the pistols here. There is a scout in the hands of Torji. JDC with the deagle on top of the toxic barrels.
Oh, double dunk. Good night, JDC.
Yeah.
5
Ouch.
ADR to his name as well. He has been completely silenced this game so far.
Very, very methodical ENCE. Not leaving anything to chance, not allowing MOUZ the luxury of taking favorable duels. And I think D had just spotted Bemis at the edge of the smoke, and he won't be expecting Sphinx's position up close. One more player inside of the water. The Sphinx will have no trouble dispatching of him. So slight investment from the CTs, getting nothing done. Torzi left alone with the scout. Might be able to land a couple of tags, but they're not going to gift him any free kills.
I feel like I was casting with you, but I can't for the life of me remember which team that Dexter was against. He was playing for MOUZ at that point. This is a while back though, maybe 6+ months at a DreamHack Open or a DreamHack Open qualifier. But he dropped 35 something kills on Overpass. And on CT side in bathrooms, he pretty much single-handedly won his team the game. This is a map that he actually has a very high skill ceiling on. The issue here though is that MOUZ are just being straight up dunked time after time when it comes to these B hits. It just doesn't seem like they have any kind of retaliation, any kind of retort for this ruthless aggression. Hence the tactical timeout to just try and get on the same page and just desperately get themselves into this match.
Yeah, absolutely. You when you have a second buy coming out here, and this is a full-fledged one, you want to ensure that you have your game plan in mind. I kind of vaguely remember this as well, Vince. Like, it's a while ago, though, right?
Yeah. This is like at least 6 to maybe 9 months ago, I want to say. He literally was one of the best performances I've ever seen on Overpass, and it was Dexter that did it. He was just killing 2 or 3 people. He always had the right reads, and he was playing bathrooms primarily. Meanwhile, though, speaking of the man, he's going to move into connector, and he does take down the head. That's such a cheeky smoke, and he gets 2.
There we go. Take his name, and he delivers. Dexter, though, he gets a little too overeager. His feet getting spotted at the edge of the smoke. And he will be found out. Oh, JDC, this should be a free kill. This should be a free kill. Sphinx not expecting the push. And now the 2 versus 4. Madden leading the charge. Going to clear out this A bomb site, but is all by his lonesome.
Great entry, though. Make that 2. Madden putting this round into close proximity for ENCE. They're going to also get the bomb plant down. Madden just making sure they're not getting flanked in. So, bomb confirmed and secured. JDC and BMAS both moving up together from lower. And neither of the T's are looking there just yet. But now that the smokes are starting to fade, that will change. Between the 2 of them, they have a kit and they have a little bit of utility, but there is also a Molotov and a HE at the disposal of the T's. Plus on the cross, they will have this. Trajectory of the grenade gives their positions away, and Hades removes the head of BMAS, removes JDC, and executes what remains of Mouse again. 6-0 lead on the T side for ENCE.
2 versus 4. And this is after Dexter gets the first 2 opening kills. Sphinx even gets taken down. And Madden, he was alone, Vince. Single-handedly just runs into the A-bomb site, takes care of both the defenders, and then Hades finishes it off. I love how Hades doesn't fall for the jump there from JDC. He just holds the line, clotheslines Bemis. And ENCE are looking terrifying here. 6-0 start on the T side of the deciding map. And Mouse down to the pistols once more.
Especially hurts after the timeout, after you've taken a brief pause, bit of reprieve to figure out where you want to change things up, and it started well. They had the advantage in the round, as you highlighted. Dexter with those 2 massive kills in connector off of the smoke. To still concede is going to sting in a way that Mouse have to put to the very deep recesses of their mind. Mollies and smokes out on Banana, trying to take a bit of control, forces Torzi away. And the other aspect of this as well, Blair, that being battered down consistently and not really getting anything in this game as Dexter is cartwheeled out from a smoke, because we haven't really seen Torzi with the AWP just yet. He hasn't been able to really show us what he's got up his sleeve. In the smoke, he's going to be staying for a little bit longer before Snappy will silence him. And ENCE are looking sharp for a 7-0 lead quickly here on Overpass. These rounds have been incredibly fast.
Ooh. Bit of a gap there, man, and so very fortunate to stay alive. Beam is just spamming away with the Deagle, and for Mouse, might as well just push on in, try and inflict a little bit of damage. Could opt to save their Kevlar as well, but ENCE are being very, very clinical indeed, just keeping the CTs at bay. There's nothing they can do. 7-0, the start. This is a dream start. The money as well looking fantastic. And it's a $5,000 average on a T side already for each and every one of the players of ENCE. And once the bomb detonates as well, they're going to be even more flush with cash. Not losing any players either. And all the hard work put in by Mouse on Mirage, is it going to be all for naught? That's the question. This is looking grim. The one man I said who needs to step up and who was instrumental in Mirage, dropping 30 kills to take down ENCE. Torsi is just a 1-7 right now. JDC 1-6. The Academy players really struggling to get off the mark here. It's only Dexter who seemingly is finding any semblance of success when it comes to winning these duels. Here we go, though. Buy coming out once more for Mouse. Torsi with the AWP. Saved Kevlar, allowing a couple of the members to just go for a full-fledged utility purchase as well.
And to put it in perspective of how top-heavy this is, Dexter is top fragging on either team by 2 frags, and he has the rest of his team covered. The rest of everyone else on Mouse has 9, as does he. And he is not the player, with all due respect to Dexter, he'd be the first person to admit this. He is not the player you're expecting to be leading the charge when it comes to heavy hitting fragging. Someone has got to step up, and they have to do it right now. There is no more room for error.
Torzy. Oh, the missed shot there. And Dexter, trying to be cheeky, he's gonna find Sphinx. He's got his bodyguard in the form of Torzy to hold the angle. His days could be numbered. The flashbang comes out of it. Hades holding the line, times the shot, and Dexter will fall. Torzy doing a smart thing by backpedaling away. They got the man advantage. There's no need to throw it away.
Flash does force Torzy back. But he is joined by Frozen. Already players darting their way towards the site. There's grenades. There's going to be some flashes as well tossed in. A very short lead, imagine, on the truck. Try and deal with this AWP. And now they're coming in with the AKs. They know a second player is there, but Frozen's going to snatch away 2 lives. And that could be the determining factor. Said that someone else had to stand tall. Maybe that man will be Frozen. Maybe he can be the hero they so desperately require. We've already seen some crazy comebacks today. In the meanwhile, though, they double peek Hades. He tries to flick across, and it will be MOUZ picking up their first round.
Crucial opening duels being won by MOUZ, and Frozen on the bomb side as well. Great work from him to find the double kill. Still looked hairy, Vince. Still looked a little worrying there. But they weren't expecting Frozen tucked on in. They found 2 defenders already. Weren't expecting the third. Allowing Frozen to pick up the double kill. There we go. Replay. Madden wasn't expecting him there. And as Frozen strikes, Hades left alone a 1v2. And I like how they just went for the wide swing as well. Not allowing Hades to isolate the fights. But for ENCE have so much money, so they're not worried at all. Still a 7-1 lead is massive. Torzy just falling back. If he just stuck around for a second longer, he could have maybe found one. Slowly creeping on up. He's alone here, but this is worrying.
He's hitting tags. He may get finalized. He misses the secondary shot. It was a hard one to land, to be fair to him. And now Dexter is going to get put through the smoke from Snappy, and a stray bullet connects to the dome. And that's enough to get ENCE another huge advantage here in the 9th round. Just after MOUZ started to get back into this, they're getting snatched away left and right.
Frozen now. Slowly walking away. Just want to go for the stack towards B. And ENCE, they don't stop this inexorable march from Snappy and his men. That's so unfortunate as well, Vince, that kill through the smoke onto Dexter. If he stays alive, that A bomb site can still be defended. But MOUZ, they realize, yeah, there's not much of a chance they have yet. Went for a bit of a gamble, Frozen relinquishing control of the A bomb site. And all they can hope for is to hold on to this rifles, which they should. They're very far away from the other members of ENCE. But at this point, it's not about saving guns. At this point, it's about putting up a few rounds here on the defensive side. 8-1 on the T side of Overpass is... It's rough if you're a MOUZ fan.
But yeah, there's no getting around from this. This is a brutal scoreline. You're normally expecting the T's to maybe pick up, what, like 6 rounds, maybe 7, if they're having a really good half. To have already 8, and still a ton of rounds to play with, and MOUZ nowhere near stable. They can't even afford to drop an AWP across to Torzy again. Like, this is very bleak. There's no getting around from it. And again, ENCE, when they move across to the CT side, it's typically where they prevail more. So we can't write MOUZ off completely. We can't, you know, jump the shark. But we also have to be realistic here, Blair, and say that if MOUZ don't start to get a stranglehold over the CT side, if they don't start to mount somewhat of a comeback in the next round or 2, maybe add a push, then it's a very real possibility that they are just going to bow out of this and go out with a whimper. And to make matters worse, Dexter tries to do something different, tries to get through the smoke, but he's alone. And there's no way that MOUZ can do anything about his death. They just have to give this up. Give up all of mid control, all of bathroom, and thus connector on top of it.
I love how they just waited for the flash to pop. And the moment the flash pops, they know Dexter's there. And Hades just pops his head. It's down to 10 HP. Doesn't matter, he comes out on top. There's no even need for a Bogdan slot to come into play because he is the AWPer. You can just stick around in the back line. JDC needs to be careful. He's been spotted. Diha peppering away, but JDC, great recovery, great double kill. That is exactly what the doctor ordered for MOUZ. But the hit is coming in towards Monster.
It's coming in quickly as well, and the smokes and flashes that precede that push. They also have a third player on short. Spinks round the side, having a lot more impact now. But JDC with an integral, vital kill that not just drops the bomb down, but isolates the players from one another and gives the advantage back to MOUZ. Spinks has no idea. He's about to get swept in from water, and that will be Torzy showing his hand. Hades now with 25 seconds. Thinking better of this decision. And I like this call for two reasons. One, the chance of clutching on 10 HP is pretty much zero. But additionally, he knows they don't have an AWP in play, or has a very good idea they don't have an AWP. It's not just his death. If he dies, he also just gift wraps an AWP across to the CTs and just makes their economy boom that little bit more.
Huge round from JDC though. Like he's had a pretty quiet series overall. This was just so important. Oh, what a shot by Hades though, despite getting dinked down. And JDC, considering his position was known, able to find 2 kills and pick up the third, single-handedly defending this B bomb site. And Torzy as well, he did a great job just sneaking into water, because they weren't expecting him to be inside of water, right? So if they get the bomb down, Torzy playing from Monster with the AWP, he could be kind of the turret for his teammate. They knew where JDC was, but Torzy being very sneaky, able to find him. Once again, a battle towards the mid position. It's Hades, Flames looking away at his feet, but not quite finding him. And Torzy sticking around. This is a very, very brave angle for him to hold.
He's now starting to breathe down on the short side. Bomb dropped out on Monster, Smoke and Molotov. So now seem to be panicking a little bit early on with so much time left on the clock, but BMAS with the wide swing. D-How is also tagged up through the wooden panels. Dexter has a chance. Spinks gets tagged up, falls back into the smoke. This is well played by MOUZ so far. They're picking and trying to puncture these players before they get into position, but Hades is now removed ahead of Dexter, and Torzy has been heard. And Madden is on the prowl. He wants to hunt down this AWP. Big frag onto BMAS. Torzy, though, will hold himself alive just a little bit longer, but it's just picking one by one. ENCE are getting entries and applying the pressure that much more on the B site, where Frozen is all alone. Now joined by Torzy. Headshot does connect, but it's not enough for the kill. And now Torzy in a 1-on-3. He'll hear that the dink came through onto Snappy, so 9 HP left, whipping up that USP, but Snappy still deals with him, still removes his head, and ENCE stomp their way into a 9-2 lead.
I just cannot comprehend how Sphinx stays, not just stays alive in that little cubby position, but also able to get the kill. Dexter saw him. He saw him inside, going inside, his information conveyed to his teammate, and yet they don't get the kill. They don't confirm it. They just let him be. And then he finds the kill. This position from Sphinx. Bemis knew where he was, but Sphinx somehow coming out on top. And as you said, Vince, almost every duel going the way. And despite the fact Snappy was so very low, it will come out on top against the USP. It is going to be the pistols out for the CTs here. Madden able to confirm that information, but it's not a full stack. There's still 2 players playing up close with Monster, and JDC is being creepy crawly through the smoke, but the smoke fades away. And with that, so will JDC. Dexter left alone here. What a shot by Sphinx. He wasn't even looking at him, Vince.
This is the Sphinx that we know. This is the Sphinx that is a terrifying prospect for any team that he faces off against on the planet. They've had a couple of quiet previous maps, but coming alive now was just warming up. Frozen may get the drop on Sphinx, but that is the best case scenario. Let's be honest here. This round is over. Great dig onto Sphinx, but it's not even as if he can go out and trade that weapon and pick it up for his teammates, because he knows he's going to be forced down upon. So ENCE can hit 10 rounds regardless. And MOUZ are looking timid. They are looking like they're just being bullied and battered and bruised, and there's no way that they can fight back. And I was just checking some stats as well, by the way, Blair. Now, ENCE do have a solid CT side, but that's if they pick up the pistol. What they typically I was just looking through all of the stats there against Heroic, against Na'Vi and some of the other teams that they've played against, like NIP, etc. If they lose the pistol on the CT side, they typically lose like the first 5 or 6 rounds. That seems to be the pattern that emerges. So I'm trying to look at positives here for MOUZ. That being said, though, that's against the top flight teams. I know disrespect to MOUZ, but they're not quite there just yet.
Absolutely, they're not quite there just yet, and that is the worrying thing. It tended to look. I don't want to be the naysayer, but this just looks like it's almost done. I don't want to like deflate any hope here, but listen, Snappy is just calling an impeccable T side. It's just great on the fly calls, and also for the side of MOUZ, some questionable decisions being made. That's Snappy tucked on in. Oh, the timing! He hears the footsteps. No trade possible. Torzy, though, he could find him, but they're not giving him anything. There we go. Diho will fall. Snappy not quick enough to get the trade, but he's going to run around the corner, and Torzy, good for 2. But in the meantime, Sphinx, he gets him through the wall bang. A kill through the smoke first, and then the wall bang. Sphinx doesn't even need any vision, Vince. And now we're down to the 2v2.
I think Torzy's going to facepalm for 2 reasons. One, he just got wallbang, but also, man, he stayed in that Molotov for so long. I don't think Sphinx gets the frag through the wooden panels if it weren't for the fact that Torzy just lost like 60 or 70 of his hit points on a molly that was behind him on the site that he didn't even need to move into. But now Dexter has a chance to be the hero, flashes through, and that will deny any chance for Dexter to have impact. Frozen now comes through on Graffiti, but he is going to go down the same way. And I know you said you don't want to be the naysayer, you don't want to be negative. I think it's just being realistic, Blair. The way this game is going, it just looks like MOUZ have completely run out of ideas.
Torzy did everything he could, but what is this from Sphinx? This filth. Oh, man. And if Sphinx is gonna come online like this, and while Hades and everyone else is having such a great game, well, yeah, it is grim for MOUZ. Penultimate round of this first half. Lurk smoke getting deployed. Wood short. This is a force buy at this point for MOUZ. They need rounds. Dexter hugging the corners. Is he going to check? He should. He doesn't. And Dexter is going to get a free kill. There's no one nearby to trade as well. That's an AK-47 retrieved.
Molly tossed down into connector. It's going to be too deep though to really bother Dexter, but Madden. I mean, why not? I guess you've got the position smoked off. It's a risk versus reward. There isn't really any risk at that point. Perfectly placed spray, and he gets the reward. Meanwhile, though, B-side is stacked. 3 players over here, but Snappy has bypassed any of the vision. There's a Molotov down, JDC forced out into the open, and the systematic shutdown continues. Sphinx sprints onto the site with Hades, and that dual combo once again connects, flush to the jaw of MOUZ, and they are staggered once more.
Hades is 13-4 on the T side with the AWP. Sphinx 15-8. Everyone is putting in the work. Even Snappy having a good old time on the other side for MOUZ is just rough. As you said earlier, Dexter seems to be only one getting a few kills, but even the kills, it's not really resulting in any rounds. There were 3 CTs lying in wait here, Vince, on the B bomb side, and ENCE just swept them aside like it was nothing. Torzy though now, just with the A1. But this time he is with his captain. They're grouped up together. And Diha once again being a bit of a demon. The previous round, Dexter did manage to take him down with his back turned. Diha waiting for the smoke to blue. Started to fade away rather. Looking to clear out the angle, but Dexter is a different angle this time around, and he is once again gonna come out on top.
Yeah, a bit top heavy as well for Dexter though. At one point he was 9-3. I remember saying the rest of his team was covered by him. That has definitely changed around now. He slowed down a little bit over these last few rounds. But you can't expect him to have all the impact as he decides to get aggressive, moves around to the T side of Con, gets punished. ENCE just seem to have a sixth sense tingling all the time as to where their opposition resides. And now Snappy's moving up. He knows a player to his left, but he actually decides to have a quick check of barrels, and that will cause his fate to be sealed. Madden, in the meanwhile, although he's made moves up on long, does not have the bomb under control. And with 11 HP, it feels as though MOUZ are going to secure a third round in the half. Unlikely to be good enough, but at least it's something if they can get their hands on the pistol. And that's a big if.
Yeah, this one's done. 15 seconds. Not much Madden can do from this position. But yeah, the classic cliche of the pistol round is important, Vince. Yes, it is. Yes, it is indeed for MOUZ. But 12-3 to score. ENCE a masterclass of a half getting called here by Snappy, and all the individuals as well just popping off. They've done themselves a massive favor, have ENCE, to make their lives as comfortable as possible heading into the second half. For MOUZ, well, backs against the wall. Mirage is now a very, very faint and faded memory. Nuke was a bit of a stomp as well, but this Overpass has been even more of a dominant affair for ENCE. Let's see what MOUZ do, though. All 5 members grouping up. Looks like it's going to be a fast hit coming in towards B, but 4 CTs lie in wait.
Yeah, noticing multiple players pushing down. They're going to line up for him. Only the one kill, though, but Snappy is there to help him out with the Julies. Gets traded out very quickly. Hades has been dinked in amongst the smoke as well, but Torsy's going to bypass him. Glenn on the frag. Still, Hades in the smoke, going to show his hand. Comes in with one, but it's going to be falling down instantly afterwards. MOUZ pick up the pistol, and as I said before, there is a level of optimism here because ENCE, when they lose the pistol on their CT side, it normally takes them quite some time before they stabilize. So MOUZ have really got to play to that strength.
Let's see if the numbers are true, Vince, but great round from Torzy, though. The P250. Whew, all headshots as well. I have to say, though, despite what has been a rough map and a half thus far for MOUZ, Torzy has delivered. Especially Mirage was a masterclass for him, but it's going to have to go above and beyond. Everyone has to go above and beyond here for MOUZ. You can see Madden just a little bit of a smile as well. It seems like a bit of some sound issues for Sphinx, but the smiles all around, so this should be hopefully sorted out real quickly. I like the curtains Hades got.
Feels like they don't block much light, though. You know, it's like the thinnest material I've ever seen for curtains.
Well, listen, not everyone's like you and me, Vince. So we have those like crazy thick blackout curtains, and then some people enjoy touching grass and seeing sunlight and whatnot, you know? Normal things, Vince.
Yeah, losers.
Not this guy, though. Like, that's a real gamer right there.
My man.
I can't even make out who that is. Is that Frozen? That is Frozen, right? No, it's not. No, it's Bemis. I love how dark it is.
It's a 9 out of 10 because it's dark as hell, but he doesn't have curtains or blinds on his window. So now that's more like it, Chief. Now we're talking.
Pitch black. Pitch black. Oh, a few lights. Nice wallpaper there for JDC. I like that. You know, a little bit of some LEDs. I like the shelf he's got going for him as well. This is more standard for the side of Cyclone.
Excuse me?
And just an empty room here. Oh, there's someone in the background. Oh, they're all in I believe they're in a boot camp, so there we go. Not all of them, but a few of them. Dexter in his closet.
He's just playing in the closet, of course. Yep.
I love it. Oh, that's a big closet as well, I guess.
It's good to see still smiles on the faces of the players, even though they are well and truly up against it right now. Second pistol, obviously, will give them a little bit of confidence. Seems like we're having some more typing on the server, so hopefully this issue is resolved shortly.
There we go.
There we have it. Awesome. Let's get back onto the saddle then and see if MOUZ can continue to apply that pressure on the T side. It is a force on the side of ENCE, expected. With a scout, deagles, pistols in play, and aggression up on the long side. This does completely vacate connector control, however. But if they can peak at the right time, there are a couple of T's here laid in wait, one of which is frozen round the corner, and Spinks removes him. That's 2 kills, and that's 2 potential upgrades on weapons as well.
There's no one nearby to dissuade ENCE from picking up this rifle, so now the hit has to come in towards B, but Madden's waiting at the edge of the smoke. And that's rotation as well. Oh, Snappy tapping away. Madden, footsteps heard. He's gonna find one and a second. It's all in Bemis. It's all gone wrong, Vince. It has gone so terribly wrong for MOUZ.
Oh, no. Not even a kill. Nothing in return. And now all those weapons traded up. You've got AKs, you've got Galils. And BMAS may be able to finish off a weakened Madden, but he's also being baited from the backside, and Snappy finishes him off. It really couldn't get any worse than that for MOUZ. You win the pistol, you instantly get crushed, and you have nothing to play with. You have to force.
I mean, they seem to have got the first step right? Listen, winning the pistol round. And then it was still going to be a tall ask, but then just getting absolutely shattered. And you're right, Vince. Like this one, you have to go for the force buy. There's no chance here. Torzi, though, if the world can get the kill here. Oh, blinded. Finds Hades.
Nice shot as well, as Hades was trying to retreat back into the sanctuary of the bathrooms, but he has afforded no safety net at all. And a kill that was at the cost of a lot of health just beforehand. 4 of the 5 are low on health. Spinks tapping in for 1 kill. There's a second player up in the balloons. Damage done to Dexter, drops to 26. Staying alive though, and this is baiting the T's into an awkward position, and Madden is going to capitalize with 3 kills. Hades with all the assists. Excellent teamwork in play, although Frozen has crunched the headshot and eviscerated Madden. He's been finished off by Diha. 10-round lead, 2 rounds shy of securing their spot in the playoffs.
Tactical timeout getting called by MOUZ, but this does feel grim, Vince. This is even more. Look, we saw a comeback take place earlier today. It was 14-6 for FaZe. For Big to just bring it back, winning 10 in a row. But this is even more grim. 14-4. It's gonna require a Herculean effort from every single member of MOUZ and ENCE. They show no signs of stopping. And it's lovely to see like how everyone's shipping in, right? It's not just been a one-man show. We saw Madden, the 2v4 looking incredible. Hades has been brilliant as well. Every single member doing the work here for ENCE. And this also gives me a bit of faith in this team. Like with the one complaint or one criticism for this lineup, and I think it was Casada or Yanko who brought it up earlier, was how they sometimes seem to play at the level of their opposition, where against lower tier teams they sometimes struggle a little bit, unlike other teams in the top 5 perhaps. But despite losing Mirage in a close fashion, the last 2 maps have just been absolute domination, and that's a good sign if you're an ENCE fan, especially heading into Cologne very, very quickly. Right now, though, for MOUZ, they've opted to go for the Eco. A Deagle for Frozen. That's about it. Gonna have to battle out for OT. They have Bemis just waiting outside Monster as well, but there's not much you can do, just waiting for any aggression to come out from ENCE. But for ENCE, they have the read. They know it's either going to be the force buy or just a full save. So there's no need to be over aggressive. There's no need to get too over eager.
He's deciding to push in now. Oh, this timing, man. He could get round the back of them. He could slip his way behind all 5 players, especially now that they've been spotted and Spinks is putting them down. Hades shows his hand with the A1, the A4, I should say. And it is, well, more of the same. Let's be honest. It's more of a massacre. There is no real way of contesting back for MOUZ. They've called tactical timeouts, hasn't worked. They've tried aggression, hasn't worked. They've tried to play slow, hasn't worked. They have been absolutely outclassed, outgunned, outaimed across the board. This has been every bit as one-sided as the scoreline would suggest.
A little unfortunate for Bemis as well. He finds an MTB bomb site, but he doesn't have the bomb. And just running on in, begging for ENCE to kill him before the time expires. And they will oblige. But now, 0 margin for error. 11 map and match points for ENCE. Everyone has looked incredible. Spinks especially. Some glorious kills coming out from him, but take nothing away from anyone else either. Like, sure, you know, Madden has 14. That's because of the role he plays for his team. Aggressive, in your face. D-Hub having to make contact, does a lot of damage to the JDC. The nade could actually find JDC. No, it doesn't. Stays alive on 5 HP as Dexter finds Snappy in the meantime.
Oh, different angle this time. Aggression, but on the fountain, it catches a couple players off guard. Joined by Hades as well. Torzi and BMAS, the last hope. Mouse need them to pull off this 2v3 or they are done in this match. And ENCE have punched their way into the playoffs. Watching down on the monster side, M4 spray is good. Madden spotting last player. Big headshot. Great result in the end. They had their slips, they had their slides, but ultimately they showed their class in the end.
Yeah, Mirage just feels like a distant memory at this point, right? And sure, that was still a closely contested match, but 16-8 on Nuke, and then we have the 16-4 domination. And what's more impressive